And what is up, everyone? It's the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And you know what that means. It's time to kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. It's time for the Digital Dash. I am your host, Javier, and for the next 3 hours, I'm going to be talking to you about all the stories, impressions, unabashed opinions, and little idiosyncrasies out there in the world of pop culture goodness. And sometimes featuring only, and I mean only, what, Trevor?
The most illustrious guests.
Correct. And I mean that. That's the only people I allow on the show. Today's going to be a simple episode, actually, or broadcast, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be simple today. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Creed 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet, 2 movies I saw over the Thanksgiving break. And then my assistant DJs are here, who Trevor you just heard before, and Mr. Jack Bartek.
Howdy.
Howdy.
And we're just going to talk. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving, a recap of Thanksgiving, if you will, both with the football games, because I know Jack apparently beat me.
Indeed.
Which I'm going to contest, obviously. I'm going to contest that. But we'll talk about that, how our Thanksgiving was, just in general. It's going to be a light show. It's like the calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? And maybe we're probably going to eat some pie at some point later, and then you guys will be jealous of us while we're eating it. And we're just going to hang out. It's going to be fun. We'll see what happens. But before all of that, of course, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be going through some of the news in the form of the opening dash. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a great show today, as always. Remember, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Stay tuned. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, listening to the Digital Dash. I'm being joined by my 8 DJs, Trevor, Joya, and Jack Bartek.
Hello.
And for the first time appearing on my show, Mr. Alejandro.
Don't call my name.
He's just stopping by for a little bit. I did not know this was going to happen, but I like it. Which is cool because at the beginning of my show, we do something called the Opening Dash, where we go through some of the big news, movie and TV news, and some of the game news that's been out there.
Love it.
So, you want me to go with the big story or a smaller story? What do you think, Alejandro?
Your personal favorite. Like the
personal
one that
favorite?
the one that you just
Yeah.
love that it's out there.
Oh, my personal favorite? Oh, yeah, I got one, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, I've been searching around. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is playing a role in Toy Story 4.
He is?
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that last week. I'm like, yes.
Multiple shows I've already spoke about today about Toy Story 4 because it's just such a big news because it gets mixed reviews because so many people are like, they ended the third one so well, why do they have to continue it? And I just, it's Pixar. Pixar doesn't mess around. Like they don't make sequels unless they think it's a good story.
I'm in that camp too. Reading from Nerdist though, just read a couple things. Apparently, Tim Allen was teasing that he's going to be an edgy character. Who's on Jimmy Fallon.
I just imagine him being like a action figure or something like that, like a G.I. Joe, or just like a he's or like a John Wick statue.
As
like
well as
John
alluding
Wick
to
action
Reeves'
figure.
character's size, which happens to be a couple of inches, just like a green army man. Allen also waxed lyrical. I don't think I've ever heard that phrase before in my life. About how excited he was about working with Reeves, as well as sharing a little story about crafting the character together. Keanu Reeves has got a great part, Allen said. Actually, a little inside story, even Reeves said, gentle, wonderful guy that he is. This sounds too much like Buzz Lightyear, and his character does not have an edge to that. And the guy said, so we calmed down a little bit, and they reminded me that his toy is only that big. Like as in the inches thing. Though many of it, I don't even want to read the rest of this. I don't know what's going on here. Tim Allen's a little bit crazy. Just for those who don't know, he's a little bit, he's kind of crazy. He's crazy. But hey, he does Buzz Lightyear, so I am in support of him 100%.
Yeah.
So Alejandro, you're in on Toy Story 4 because you trust Pixar, basically. That's what you're mentioning. Yeah, I'm in that camp too.
It's weird how, like, they're one of those movies that's had just such a gap between movies, but just judging on how good those movies were, it's like, is that an okay gap? I mean, because like the gap between Toy Story 2 and 3 was 11 years, and now the gap between 3 and 4 is it was in 2010, so about 9 years or so, about 9-10 years, yeah. So it's like I don't know, but do you think that? Why do you think but why do you think it takes them so long to come up with these movies? Is it because people are busy?
They want to make them good. They want to make them good.
They want to make them as good as possible. And I've seen, I
like, look
I,
at-
like I have personal experience, and it's just like filmmaking is really hard to come up with a
Yeah,
story
of course.
because you have to figure out what the story's going to be overall.
Especially if it's animation, right?
Yeah, especially if it's animation. I'm not going into animation. God bless those people who go into animation. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're gonna get over with one of the sad stories that happened not too long ago, actually yesterday or today. I'm sorry. Bernardo Bertolucci has died at the age of 77. Reading from Variety, Bernardo Bertolucci, whose epic The Last Emperor won 9 Oscars and who influenced generations of filmmakers with other groundbreaking works such as The Conformist and Last Tango in Paris, in which he explored politics and sexuality through personal storytelling and audacious camera work, has died. He was 77. His publicist, Flavia Schiavi, and Bertolucci died... His publicist, Flavia Schiavi, said Bertolucci died at his home in Rome at 7 a.m. Monday. He had been suffering from cancer. So yeah, just a big name in the film industry, especially the film industry, meaning like people who are really into the Oscar stuff. So, you know, thoughts go out to his family and stuff. But yeah, I've seen, what's it called? Which one was it? I think I saw Last Tango in Paris. I don't remember which one I saw. No, I saw The Last Emperor. There we go. Okay. I forgot which one I saw. I'm not overly fluent with this guy's work, but hey, a big name for sure when it comes to awards, obviously. Now we're moving on to some more fun things. You know what I mean? Not just yet, actually. I'm gonna save all the best things for last. Sony has set 2 release dates for some Spider-Man universe films. This via Variety. Sony dates 2 Marvels for 2020.
Oh God.
Sony Pictures is staking out 2 significant dates in 2020 for their piece of the Marvel pie, the Spider-Man universe. Alejandro, you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go do I gotta go do my podcast now.
Okay.
I know that sucks. I wish I could stay, but
What kind of podcast you do?
for what do you call it? It's for a class for writing for the media with
Ooh.
Austin Jeffers. You know, yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's just an assignment. You know, it's
pretty
a
dope.
5-minute podcast. I think we're just gonna do it on movies and stuff like that.
That's dope.
So yeah, it can be
I
just
love
about
it.
whatever.
I love
so
podcasts. I want to
yeah.
start one soon.
yeah, if I got time, I feel like I'm not gonna go home because if I go, but then by the time I'm, you know.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, because I gotta
Don't
be.
worry about it.
Nah, I'll definitely stop by because I wanted to
Alright,
speak
cool.
about Ralph Breaks the Internet. Did you guys
Oh.
like it?
Yeah, I did.
I loved it. I loved it.
I didn't
Alright,
watch
cool.
it yet.
Yeah, we can't
definitely
spoil
watch
stuff.
it.
We can't
Yeah.
spoil stuff, but yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'll see you soon, man.
See you, man.
All right, so Alejandro stopping by for a New York minute. All right, but he'll be back. An Untitled Sony Marvel project will hit theaters on July 10th, 2020, with an Untitled Sony Marvel sequel following on October 2nd. So we don't know the names of these things. Trevor, you were upset when I brought this up. Why were you upset?
It's gonna be Morbius, and it's gonna be the Venom 2.
Probably. I don't know about Venom. But we'll see.
I bet you it's gonna be Venom 2, and it's gonna be Morbius. It's gonna
Or
be.
it's the silver. What's that called? Silver, black and silver, something like that.
No, I don't think that's gonna be it.
Well, it could be it because
No,
Venom
because
just
no,
came
because
out.
no, because
Stop
I
saying no to me, okay?
I don't like the Sony Marvel stuff. I think
I don't
Javier
care.
Rod is a terrible producer.
I don't care.
I think he's blind to everything, and I think he's old and he's ancient and needs to go away.
Tell us how you really feel, man.
I really don't like Javier Rod.
So you're telling me that Venom 2 will come out 2 years after Venom instead of the movie that they announced before, which is
Yes.
the Black Cat thing.
Yes.
You're wrong, but okay. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited to see. Although
not
I
excited.
actually would rather read it because I actually kind of liked Venom. That's my dirty secret. It was fun. I don't know. It was so dumb. Me and my friend were laughing the entire time. Anyway, so that's another thing. But now let's get into some more interesting news. I don't even feel like reading the box office. Yeah, I'll read the box office. Why not? Okay, so box office updates from AP. AP News. Wreck-It Ralph, Creed fuel record holiday box office. Movie sequels are having their own Thanksgiving feast at the box office and fueling record industry. Wow, that was worded weird. Industry-wide grosses for the long weekend. Ralph Breaks the Internet and Creed 2 took the top 2 spots on the North American charts, beat the openings for the original films, and helped the 5-day Thanksgiving box office totals cross the 300 million mark for the first time ever. Studios on Sunday said Disney's Wreck-It Ralph sequel earned an estimated $55.7 million over the 3-day weekend and $84.5 million since its Wednesday opening to take first place and become one of the biggest Thanksgiving openings of all time. The Rocky spinoff Creed 2, starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone, placed second with $35.3 million from the weekend and $55.8 million since Wednesday, far surpassing the first film's Thanksgiving debut in 2015. The sequel, directed by Stephen Cable Jr., has Jordan's Adonis Creed fighting the son of Ivan Drago. I saw both of these movies, and not going to get into it too much because we'll be talking about it. But cool, they both shattered records. It was a big deal. Sometimes I forget that people do like seeing movies over Thanksgiving, like holiday. I keep forgetting that because every time it happens, I'm like, oh, aren't people not going to want to go out this weekend? And it turns out they do. So, congrats to those two movies making as much money as they did. But now, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. It's time. You guys saw it. Pretty sure everybody saw it.
I saw it.
Trevor knows. He saw it. You saw it?
I saw it 5 times.
Did you see it, Jack?
What are we seeing?
The Lion.
Oh, yes, of course.
The Lion King trailer was released.
You couldn't avoid it if you wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
You could not.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Reading from Variety. This is a little bit update on how the trailer is doing. The Lion King trailer sets Disney record for most views in 24 hours. Anticipation for Disney's rollout of live-action adaptations can sometimes be lukewarm, but that's clearly not the case with The Lion King. The teaser trailer for the upcoming live-action feature, which is really just photoreal animation, accumulated 224.6 million views globally in its first 24 hours, becoming Disney's most-watched trailer in a day.
Wow.
Across all studios, it's the second most-watched teaser behind that of Avengers Infinity War, which tallied 238 million views. Disney released the teaser trailer on Thursday as part of the Thanksgiving football festivities, replicating the opening scene of the beloved 1994 original animated film. Now here's the thing. For also, by the way, the record's going to get broken again by Avengers 4 whenever that comes out.
It's going to break it.
That's probably what's going to happen because there's more curiosity for what is even that movie going to be called. So that should be interesting. So let's discuss, guys. Let's discuss. How you feeling?
I can't wait to see it because I can't wait to see live action Rafiki, who's my favorite character, and that whole Lion King thing. I love, have you seen the cast for this?
Oh, have I?
No joke, this is an all-star cast. I said the Lion King needs to be good, mad good, and it looks like Chipita Efford is playing Scar. There's so much good cast members. There's so many good casting choices where I'm just like, yes, do this. Eric Andre as Ed the Hyena. I'm like, okay, that's really funny. But the one that really got me was Donald Glover as Simba. And
Yes.
James Earl Jones returning as the voice of Mustafa.
Not Mustafa.
Mustafa.
It's Mufasa.
Mufasa.
You sounded it out a little bit wrong,
I'm
but
sorry.
it's okay.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. You are forgiven. You are forgiven for now, though.
I
might not forgive you later, so be careful.
I just can't wait to see what this movie's gonna be like. For me, I
don't know how to say his name, but Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chipita
How do you say his name?
Efford.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is. They just don't know him based off of his name. He's been in things like Doctor Strange, 2012,
Oh my
12
God,
Years a Slave.
Baron Mordor.
Yeah, Baron Mordor. He's
God,
really great.
yes.
He's a great actor. That people probably just don't recognize just based off that. And he's voicing Scar, so that should be really cool. Keegan-Michael Key is another one. Obviously, bringing back James Earl Jones, and of course, Mr. Donald Glover is being Simba, and then Beyonce. Oh my gosh.
Beyonce is playing
Come on.
Nala.
Come on, ladies
That's
and gentlemen.
awesome.
Come on.
That is so awesome. That is
It's a crazy
I'm
cast.
I'm looking at this cast. I'm like, how much?
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch
Seth-
this movie.
I'm really excited for the Seth Rogen and
And Billy Escher,
Billy Eichner
Billy Eichner.
talking with Simba. Just those voices when they
It's-
do the Hakuna Matata and all that stuff. It's gonna be fun.
I think
thought
I
you
think
tweeted
I
about
think
this,
the
right?
one I think
You tweeted about this, I think, right?
I didn't. tweet about
I
this,
think Pumbaa is gonna be the one that's gonna really break me, which is Billy
no. Eichner.
Eichner.
Mhm.
He's gonna break me first because he's
I
gonna be
love
like
Pumbaa.
because I love his sense of humor,
Mm.
and he's gonna be the one that's gonna be like. I
And
just
John
imagine
Oliver,
his
too.
voice and him being like, Hakuna Matata.
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna break me within the
John
first.
Oliver too, who's hilarious. So I'm
As-
really excited for this. Jack, I know you've been quiet, a little bit too quiet.
It's just, it's really amazing to me.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how they could do that.
It's gonna be something, man.
I can't wait to watch this in IMAX.
I could have never imagined seeing a movie like Lion King
Hmm.
And they're
in
bringing
such an adaptation like this.
they're bringing Hans Zimmer back
I know.
to do the score,
I
which
know.
I'm like, yes.
And it's not like the original movie was lacking for a cast. There was a lot of
No.
good people in that too. Obviously,
And obviously my favorite Rafiki is played by the Black Panther's father.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about Rafiki.
It's fine, man. It's fine.
Rafiki is my favorite character
They
in
showed
Lion
the
King.
Stampede. You know.
Oh no, the
Man,
Stampede.
the Stampede. Ooh, everyone knows what that means. I'm excited, man. I mean, I've made this joke a lot. How it's like, it's gonna be not technically great that every movie top 10 grossing next year will be by Disney, whether it be Dumbo, whether it be Toy Story 4, The Lion King, Avengers 4, Captain Marvel.
Can I say something about
Spider-Man
Dumbo?
Far From Home. No.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I'm not looking forward to Dumbo as much as I think.
I'm excited for it.
I'm not.
As long as they don't have the crows with the bad names, we're good. You're good with me. As long as you don't have that stuff, we're good.
I just don't have like. I'm like, it looks okay. It doesn't look.
Well, that's what's interesting is that it's not the most favorite out of all of these things that are being live actioned. I guess that's a decent way of phrasing it. But yeah, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break. When we get back, we're going to go through some of the gaming news. Not too much, but some things I definitely want to talk about that are interesting. And this mic, once again, doing the thing where it just starts having a mind of its own, really. Let me see if I put it up there. Well, we'll figure it out. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. You listen to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. I'm being joined by my assistant DJs, Mr. Trevor Joya.
Hello.
And Mr. Jack Bartek.
That's me.
Now we're going to continue going on with the opening dash. Going to gaming news. Not too much, but a couple things. First of all, just dropped a couple, honestly, about an hour ago or so. Rockstar announced that the Red Dead Online beta will be beginning tomorrow. I don't even think I knew if they were going to do a beta for the online for this game. So that's a big deal. It's dropping tomorrow. Classic Rockstar, they basically do whatever they want, Jack. You know? Whenever they want to release something, they're like, here it is,
and it
go
blows
crazy.
up.
And it blows up, and they could release, beta? Hey, guess what? It's coming out tomorrow.
Could you imagine if they release, Grand Theft Auto 6 tomorrow?
Bro, I feel like
The
there's
world would
only
explode.
a couple publishers in the industry where I think that they could announce a game, a couple weeks before it comes out, and then people, it would be fine.
Yeah.
I think it's, there's a couple franchises that would work like that. Not many. I think Grand Theft Auto is one of them. The 2K series. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, they could because everyone's like, oh, I wonder if it's coming out.
I
think
wonder
Fallout,
if it's going to be different this year.
I think Fallout, they could do that. But speaking of Fallout, there's been a couple things that have happened with Fallout. Fallout 76, that is. First of all, Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, sold better than it. Reading from Eurogamer. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is the UK physical chart #1 after it beat the physical launch sales of Fallout 76, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and, thanks, buddy, and Let's Go Eevee, plus a new box version of Fortnite and Hitman 2. I just found this interesting, and we just got a flood warning. Oh, boy. Oh, thanks, man.
Great.
Trevor being a champ over here, just giving me my plate. So, basically, yeah, it's sold really well, just physical copies, of course, and just checking out the sales here. It's been doing good both in the UK and the US, from what I understand. This, to me, was a big deal because, one, Spyro's the boy, and I want to play it as soon as possible because, I don't know, I never really played those games too much as a kid, so it'll actually be, both nostalgic and just a new experience. And, you good? You good over there? Were you trying to be Spyro or something? Have a little dragon mouth or whatever? But I'm excited for that, and also, the bigger thing, arguably the bigger story, is Fallout 76. Big game. Jack, you're not big into video games, but you know what Fallout is, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I had the last Fallout. What was it? Fallout 4?
I think it was 4. Big
Pretty fun.
series. I
Pretty
like
fun.
it. I love the aesthetic and the vibe to it for some reason. I'm like weird. Just the music, you know what I mean? That classical music playing as people get nuked or whatever. And I played New Vegas a decent amount, I remember, back in the day. Never really played those games to completion, but 76, it's this new idea that they were going for where it was a multiplayer Fallout game, which they never really do. Not never really do, they haven't done it. And it's gotten trashed. So what I've heard, basically, now I'm not reading from many stories right now. The game has a 46 on Metacritic, which is extraordinarily low. I think Fallout 4, I'm actually going to check right now because, man, look, my mic. I love it when it does this. Look at this, guys. You see this? This is great. This is fantastic that it has to drop down like this and I have to hold it.
Nothing worse than a droopy mic.
Yeah, nothing worse than a droopy mic. It's gone limp. It's gone limp. Someone needs
It's
to
like
get
Limp
this thing.
Bizkit.
Yeah, no, it's not like Limp Bizkit, but yeah, sure. And yeah, people have been complaining. People say this game just straight up doesn't work. It's just terrible. and
no.
it doesn't work on consoles, especially. Like Fallout 4 had an 87. I'm sorry, just for some context for the last one, and it's a 46. I'm actually like, let me make sure really quickly if it's still that. Yeah, it's still. Oh no, it's a 49. I'm sorry. My apologies, everyone. It's a 49. So this game has been getting trashed, and it's a big deal because this is a big failure by Bethesda, and you don't see big failures like this. Like imagine Red Dead came out and you saw it had like a 50 on Metacritic or something like that.
Oh no.
A big deal, and people were saying, "Oh, it doesn't work." And I think what's happened here with Bethesda is they've gotten a little bit too cocky. They've been doing great. They started having their own conferences at E3, and I think they thought that they can do more than they actually could. They started getting a little frisky, being like, "Oh, we'll do multiplayer Fallout now." And hey, people did not like this, clearly. So that's a problem. What you laughing at?
You. God
Jack-
makes jokes and then I laugh.
See, I'm.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say, but people, it stinks because I was like defending this game when it was announced because people were like, "We don't need multiplayer Fallout, man," because people don't like change at all. You know what I mean? God forbid you ever get anything different when it comes to your franchises. And I was wrong. Maybe people were right to be upset, and now it's just getting destroyed, and people are, like I said, really upset.
Is it glitchy?
I've heard it's glitchy. Bro, I'm gonna dive deep later and just check out what's going on with this game because I can't believe that it's like. It's not just, it's okay. It's like, no, it's a bad game.
It's hard
and you
to
wouldn't
believe.
expect that from, you know what I mean? From a publisher and developer like this. You just wouldn't expect that, It's kind of unprecedented. It's like if Uncharted 4 came out and that was bad, like really bad. So, yeah, that's a big deal. This one, a story actually that happened fairly recently is that Rockstar's Agent trademark is abandoned. Now, just some backup on this. I'm reading from Polygon right now. Video game publishers rarely say a project is abandoned or canceled outright, even if their actions have effectively made it so. That makes a trademark abandonment as close as it gets to definitively saying something that was once announced ain't never gonna happen. And that is officially the case for Agent. Agent was infamously announced as a PlayStation 3 exclusive at E3 2009, one of the last times, if not the last time, Rockstar made news at the Expo. As noticed by DualShockers, Take-Two's interactive trademark is listed as abandoned as of November 19th, 2018 by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So I'm going to give you some background information. I'm not going to read from the rest of this. But Agent was a game announced, like I said, for being a Sony exclusive. And like I said, this is a Rockstar game. You know what I mean? They were making something called Agent. So people assume it's probably some like spy thing. And Alejandro's back. I didn't even notice that he was back for a second. What's up, bud?
Not much. Just finished my assignment podcast with Austin Jeffers, and I am just
Just hanging out?
I don't feel like going home because what's the point? I gotta be back here at 7 anyways.
I feel you, man.
Yep.
You better be careful. I might have to kick you out.
Why?
I don't know, man.
Just
Just
his
if you,
show and he runs the place.
Just,
I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I got one later.
just, if you make any side eyes looks at me or anything,
Who you calling side eyes?
But anyway, I'm just messing around.
Yeah. What were you
Agent,
talking
it was the game Agent. You ever heard of this?
I have
Probably not. It was E3 from a long time ago. It was announced to be a PlayStation exclusive, and it was a Rockstar title. So this is on the heels of Grand Theft Auto 4 coming out. So keep in mind that game, and when they come out and announce, oh, we're getting an exclusive game from these guys, and they never got it. Then they officially, what's the phrase? They abandoned the trademark for Agent, so it's gone. You can trademark that if you want for whatever title and whatnot. It's a big deal. I always thought that. So there's been a lot of weird rumors about Sony and their relationship with Rockstar, where they kind of owe them a favor, but then again, they're Rockstar, so they can kind of just be like, nah. So I'm really interested to see how that happens. One of the rumors was that E3 from a few years ago, the way it ended, it was a great press conference, one of their best. It's when they announced like Crash Bandicoot and the Spider-Man game and all that. Stop laughing, Trevor. And it was crazy because they re-showed something at the end of that show, and one of the rumors was that they were actually gonna like premiere the world premiere of Red Dead 2 or something like that, because apparently Rockstar owes them for kind of messing up on not following through with this Agent thing. But I don't know, it's an interesting, nerdy, like really industry story that I'm a big fan of. But yeah, not too many things left. Square Enix has finished development on Kingdom Hearts 3. This via Forbes.
Oh, thank God.
Is now complete. With the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 in January, it's good to know that development of the game is now complete. Via a recent tweet from Tetsuya Nomura, development on Kingdom Hearts 3 has finished, considering how long we've all been waiting for the game. This is wonderful news. Nah, we all is a little bit of a stretch because I get so mad at Square Enix. I remember I told you they're like the Kings. They're not really hurting anybody, but they just make dumb decisions. They're not doing offensive things. They're not coming out and saying what the Florida State coach said, for example, or the person said about the Florida State coach. Nothing offensive or bad. You're just like, why are you here? Like, stop.
Just
Just
irrelevant.
make bad. Yeah, just irrelevant.
You're just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do you keep doing this to yourself? It's just like,
Why
like
are you
Kingdom
like
Hearts
this?
2, the second game came out, I believe, in like 2004.
oh my god.
And they've released like a bunch of tie-in games instead. They've never made a direct sequel. You know what I mean? They'll have like something called Birth by Sleep, 358 over 2 days, Coded, Dream Drop. They do everything except.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, it's just they're really trying to milk it, and I can't stand them. Just release the game already, all right? You cowards. But yeah, there's it's finished development, so I was wrong. I thought this thing would get delayed again just because it always has been. All right, the Kingdom Hearts fans will freak out and be like, no, it's not. It's never been delayed. Okay, fine. They didn't come out and say the release date. But when your thing gets announced in 2013, just stop, all right? That's when this thing was announced. It's coming out in 2019. Give me a break.
That's not good.
Enough. I've had enough. Anyway, this is the company that I told you about where they announced the Final Fantasy remake. And the guy who was the director found out during that thing that he was the director when they showed the thing. He's like, yeah, he's like, oh, so I'm the director of this? I don't know what they're doing. What's funny is I still am actually really excited for this game. I'm like just curious because I love the first game. It was a big part of my childhood. Second game I actually think is quite bad in a lot of ways, but it's still kind of a favorite, and I liked that when I was a kid too. And I'm just curious to see how they end it. And also, you can go to Monsters Inc. world. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool. Big Hero 6, Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just curious. Pirates of the Caribbean again. I'm curious. It'll probably be a fun game, so I'm curious to see how it ends. And then the last story, if there is a last story. Oh, yeah. Voice actor apparently has claimed that Mortal Kombat 11 is on the way.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
What? Andrew's like,
so
what?
shook.
I just feel like they should stop because it's just so repetitive.
Nah, man. People love
What could you
Mortal
possibly
Kombat.
make for 11
I
different
know.
games?
Well, what's funny is Mortal Kombat 9 really brought the series back, and it was supposed to be as good as it was. That's a great game. So
I only
much
played.
content.
I only played 10.
Oh, you only played
Yeah.
10X was good too.
Yeah.
But 9 was when they just packed with content. They had a full-fledged story mode that was pretty cool, and they just had so many unlocked. Like it was just straight up a good game, and that's by a studio called NetherRealms, and they're the same people who do the Injustice games. So that's what they've been kind of doing, where they've been kind of every few years they put out either an Injustice game or a Mortal Kombat game. So this doesn't surprise me at all. So yeah, that's it for that. And finally, the reads of the week that I got for you. Let's see here, folks. Where I give every week, I give my 3 articles or sometimes even tweets or anything that I think I recommend people checking out.
I read your article last week.
Which one?
The one on the players.
The players.
Like Le'Veon Bell, Jimmy Butler.
Oh, the one that yeah. I remember messaging you. I sent that. That's also, I think, the Vince Staples one that you guys were
Yeah,
laughing
yeah.
about. Yeah,
I was
you guys
laughing
check
about
that
that.
out too. That was a great interview. He's so funny. But yeah, for this week, The Good Place keeps raising its own stakes. How high can it go? From The Ringer by a writer named Allison Herman. She's a really good TV writer, and I recommend checking it out because The Good Place is awesome. And I thought her analysis of the show is really interesting, and it makes a good because it's very much like a focused story, meaning like it's not standalone episodes that you can just tune into. You know what I mean? I mean, you could. Especially after season 1, you definitely can't because then you'll just be like, what? But it's a really great show. And it's really funny. It's by Michael Schur, and he's the one who's behind The Office and Parks and Recreation, stuff like that. So it's great. This was just a good article that kind of went through that. Let me see. What else are we going to do? Oh, yeah. I'm New Here. Naive Optimism, The Veil of Ignorance, and the Unique Trials of Living the Nug Life. This is on the Denver Stiffs, which is a SB Nation team site for the Denver Nuggets. It's an older article, but I mentioned to you guys before I like watching the Nuggets, and this is just it's just a very personal piece where he talks about kind of forcibly getting into a team because he was choosing who to write for, and he basically talks about how he was like, well, no one writes about the Nuggets, and he expected to go there and see like Nuggets jerseys everywhere, and it's kind of like, it's an interesting environment he talks about, and I was like, I don't know, he's a pretty good writer for the Denver Nuggets for sure. Because I'm weird and I like watching the Nuggets, so I know who he is. And then lastly, just an opinion piece from IGN called Cowboy Bebop Changed My Life. And you can guess what it's about. The anime Cowboy Bebop and how it changed this person's life by Jackie Jing. And the writer for the Denver Nuggets story, by the way, is Brendan Vogt. That's spelled with VOGT. So you guys can check that out if you want. And the Cowboy Bebop Changed My Life. Just, everything with Cowboy Bebop, I'll basically shovel into the show as much as I can because it is a great show, and you don't have to like anime to like it. I am serious. Watch the dub too. English dub is actually better.
Oh my God.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. And I guess I'll plug my own thing. I put out a Last of Us review, which is 4 years late, but I was doing because for one of my classes, I had to do a video game review. That's one of the assignments, so I decided to write about my favorite game ever. So you can check that out on Pop Candy on Medium. Just a self-plug if you want to check that out. Shameless self-promotion on my part. But then again, is it shameless? Because I'm never ashamed of just being a rascal, just a horrible human being. You know what I mean, Jack?
No free plugs.
Yeah, no free plugs. I like how serious you look. Like
Hit the
no
dump
free
button.
plugs. Like, yeah. There you go. But yeah, so yeah, you guys can all check those. You can check all those things out if you want. And remember to also check out the school paper, the Montclarian. I am the assistant entertainment editor there, and there's really lots of great content being pumped out every week, from reviews to student profiles to just really good news coverage and feature stories and everything. You can pick up the hard copy on Thursdays at one of the many bins scattered around campus. And usually Wednesday night, Thursday, you can see the articles posted online on themontclarian.org. So yeah, there's all the things you can check out for the readers out there. And sometimes the digital watchers. There's some good, they do some digital content too. So yeah, guys, that's it for the opening dash. We're going to take a little bit break, and when we get back, I'm going to give my thoughts. Alejandro, too, will probably give his thoughts, because he saw it, too. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about after this, ladies and gentlemen.
Sweet.
So stay tuned, guys. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. Listening to the Digital Dash. We just finished talking about all the news and stuff. You know, good to keep it rolling. I'm being joined by my two assistant DJs, Mr. Trevor Joya.
Hi.
And Mr. Jack Bartek.
Hey there.
And special guest making his Digital Dash debut. Say it.
Alejandro Arceo.
There you go. I don't know. I just wanted him to say his name, just throw him off and be all awkward and whatnot, because that's how I do. I'm a very awkward human being, you know? And nothing, perhaps, is more awkward sometimes than the internet. You like that, Triz? How was that? Rated out of 10. Was it too like rushed? Did it flow, not really flow that well? How was that? What do you think, Trevor? You're a big fan of giving scores. What do you think? I said out of 10, not out of 10.
It was okay.
It was okay. Okay, he doesn't want to give a number. Okay, fine. But yeah, we're talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet. And now Trevor and Jack haven't watched the movie, so I'm going to spoil it for them right now. You know what happens at the end? Man, you know what? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even going to. I didn't even phase him. I didn't even phase him. I didn't even phase him.
Imagine you dropped a listener right because they heard, oh, spoiler.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, they're just like,
Everybody tuned out.
Yeah, everyone tuned out.
No one's listening.
Hey, they might have. Hey, that's what people do. That's what people do, you know? But I saw it on Thanksgiving Eve. I did not do what the rest of my friends did, which is, you know, doing certain activities that they're allowed to do at the age of 22. I was not able to participate in that because I had a family friend over. So instead, I watched Ralph Breaks the Internet by myself in the theater. It was really fun, actually.
Why
By
you go
yourself?
by yourself?
Because that's what I do, bro. I'm a lone ranger.
I took my little brother.
Nice. I didn't really have anyone to go with. My mom didn't want to go. My family member didn't want to go, and all my friends were out, you know, at the bars and stuff.
Could have asked me.
I could have asked you.
You could
You
have
want
asked
to drive
me.
all the way to
You could ask
Morristown?
me.
You could have texted me, said
You want to drive all the way to Morristown?
I go to Morristown all
No.
the time.
no.
Exactly. I like how both of you, oh, you could have asked me. And then I asked if you want to drive to Morristown. What about you?
I'm about 30 minutes from Morristown, and I don't mind making that drive.
Meet halfway.
All right.
I didn't
so
even know
you
where-
made a
Hanover.
good-
East
you made a good-
Hanover.
I mean, I just walked there because I'm a lunatic.
Right.
I
Yo,
don't
if
know
we
how
ever
to
want
car, so that's the other thing.
to go see a movie, let's just meet halfway in East Hanover.
All right. All right. We'll see, man. But yeah, so I saw the movie, and when did you see it, Alejandro? You say you saw it last night? Is that what you said?
No, last
No.
night I saw Creed 2.
Creed 2. Oh, I saw Creed. We're talking about Creed 2 later, too.
Word.
But
But I think I saw it on, I don't remember. I think I saw it like on a Friday or something, or Thursday.
yeah, the whole weekend kind of blurs together.
Yeah, it really does. Cause
You know what I mean?
and the thing is, these movies were packed, man.
They were. They really
so
were.
many people watching movies.
Yeah, people love movies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
I just
It's a
went to
great
see
American
Fantastic
pastime.
Beasts.
What?
I just went to see Fantastic Beasts.
Really? Really, Trevor?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. I'm
I've
not.
been so mean to him today. I
It's
hate
fine.
myself. I'm such a horrible person. I got to stop being mean
God.
to Trevor. Jack, you need to say something that I can make fun of you for, which could be anything. I don't know. I'm just like, so Trevor, we're not going to talk about fence. Just quickly, what did you think of?
It was
meh.
okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. Had too many twists and turns.
It had too many.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Actually.
Yes. It had too many twists
Too
and
many twists and turns.
where
Okay.
I'm just like,
Cool.
Where I'm just like, what?
Huh.
I was like, it was like the gift. I was like reacting like the gift of like the guy's like, huh? Okay.
Nick Young.
Oh, the Nick Young question.
Like,
So yeah, you know, the internet is a crazy thing, and that. Oh my gosh, I am terrible today, guys. I don't know. I'm feeling like weird. I was thinking too much last night about things, and we'll talk about it off air. I've been off past like 24 hours. I don't know what's going on. But Alejandro, we both saw Wreck-It Ralph, right? And we're not going to go into spoilers, really. Not that this is a movie that has like a lot of really like, it doesn't have like a scene where it's like, yo, you don't want that spoiled for you, man. But still, I think that we're not going to go too much into it. Just going to talk about it broadly because it just came out. So I don't think that'd be fair to people who haven't, had the time to see it. But personally, I really liked it. I thought it was really sweet. I thought it was the perfect kind of love letter to the internet, but also a criticism of the internet and kind of looking at how it could sometimes be bad, and internet culture can be really, toxic and accurate and just, kind of mess you up mentally. You know what I mean? But it also shows the funny side of it and how I think, I don't know if I said this or if I saw it somewhere. I'm being serious. Like, I don't know if but like, I kind of think of it as it's like Inside Out, but for the internet. You know how Inside Out's like characters are emotions? This is like characters are internet things. So it'd be Google and Facebook. Like BuzzTube is the name of basically YouTube on this. I guess they couldn't get the rights to YouTube or something like that.
No.
What is that? What do you think?
I feel like I'm pretty sure they mentioned YouTube once.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It's just weird that they went with BuzzTube then.
Because it was trying to be its own thing.
Okay, yeah.
Like
well, because
I feel like it was
actually,
a competitor,
and that's actually used in the plot, unlike Facebook and Google. It's just kind of shown.
Yeah.
And they have
because it was filled with real life internet references and pop culture references. So it's
there were,
and
that I think is one of the best parts about the movie is that it really just has a lot of cool references in there that I think people will like. You don't have to be overly fluent with the internet. You don't have to be like, one of those dorks like me who spends 72 hours on it a day. But I still think it was a lot of fun. And now have you guys seen the first movie?
Yeah,
I've seen.
You guys seen the first movie? Okay, because you definitely have to see. You don't have to see the first movie, but it's like you'll understand Ralph. You know what I mean? You'll understand Penelope. You'll like get the characters and have a little idea. And you definitely, I recommend it for sure. I thought it was great. And this movie is I remember when they announced that they were doing the internet. I was like, oh, I guess I just assumed if they were doing a Wreck-It Ralph sequel that they would just do the video game thing again. This movie, it does have gaming in it, though. Don't get me wrong. It still has some gaming characters. My guy Sanic is on it for a little bit. He has like a line or two, which is cool. Come on, Nintendo. Why isn't Mario in here? What are you doing? You got Bowser. You got all your characters in there, but you can't have Mario in there. No Waluigi. Definitely no Waluigi, right?
Well, because anytime they show a character, they have to get rights to them. And
I know.
so just think about how much money they're already paying.
I know, but like Nintendo, just do it.
I know.
Be nice.
It's because the thing is, Nintendo is such a picky company because they just want to be Nintendo. They don't want to be affiliated with other brands. Why do you think it took them so long to give Funko the rights to the Funko Pop figures? They only have one Nintendo Funko Pop.
They have their
Pikachu.
own. They have their own content
Amiibos.
program for YouTube, which is ridiculous. By the way,
yeah.
It's hilarious. Like, I don't think they realize that they're stabbing themselves in the foot when they do that, because then people who stream aren't going to want to play Nintendo games. And guess what? It's free advertising. So let people play your games. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah.
Reggie Fils-Aimé, if you're listening, stop those people from thinking the dumb ways that they do, because you just don't know what you're doing. I'll never forget Pokemon Go blowing up and people go, oh. It's like they probably didn't realize how popular. I'm not going to get into this. It's too much. But back to Ralph Breaks the Internet. I really did like it. I thought that voice acting was cool, especially from Sarah Silverman. She's very sweet in this movie. It's a lot more about her, I would say. In a lot of ways, it's about both of them, but it's really about friendship and the bond that they share. And I thought it was really, cute. Animation wise, the movie's kind of all over the place because the internet, and it's really clever what they do with a lot of like to depict like the dark web and to depict pop-ups and to depict what it looks like when people lose their internet connection. Just everything about the internet is in here. And I really appreciate that. I actually didn't think the movie was overly like a hilarious type of animated movie. I feel like some of Pixar's things are a little bit funnier, but it's just sweet. Like you're just gonna be smiling at seeing little references and stuff, and I like that. I like having movies that I can kind of just not turn my brain off to, but something that I just know is gonna be a pleasant watch. You know what I mean? Nothing's that's gonna be like overly frustrating or anything like that. I do have one little bit complaint about the movie is that I think that without getting into too many spoilers, I'd be able to go into more detail. I don't want to do that. I think the last third, the final act of the movie feels a little bit rushed. I thought that the kind of like the problem that arises, it feels like they spend so much time building the internet in this movie, and you know, which is fair. It's a lot of world building going on, but in this case, I felt like they almost didn't save enough time to fix the main conflict that arises, which I won't really spoil or get into. And it just feels a little bit rushed. It's not a huge problem. But I was like, wow, this is just okay. All right, I didn't feel like the cues hit as much for me. But then again, maybe I'll watch it again in 3 months for the 4th time, and then all of a sudden I'll be tearing up. I don't know. I'm just weird. I never cry when I watch a movie the first time. I don't know what it is. It like gets me later. I don't understand. And that's just one of my minor kind of complaints. And that's kind of it, man. I just love Pixar animated movies because they just feel so safe. I always feel like they're going to be at the very least good, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that's why I think that this movie's resonating, so well with the box office and stuff like that, is that people want to have like a cute, family movie. And also there's some end credit stuff, and they're funny. They're good. They're really good. The end credits for this movie is really, really good. Both the mid-credit one and then the post-credits are both really, really good. As we just passed the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I did that one exactly.
That was perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen. So Alejandro, did you have any complaints or anything?
No, I just thought it was just a good follow up to the first film. You know, it was just I mean, it's it's just so hard because it's like it's one of those things that when you're watching these kind of movies, you feel like you've seen this kind of plot in a different way, similar. So you're just like,
yeah.
It was just very predictable, but it is what it is,
I disagree. I feel like the conclusion is not like something we necessarily always see before. I thought that there was a lesson.
Well, it's just It's just a movie about friendship and letting go. And
I don't think people are expecting that though.
I was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, definitely.
You're weird. No, I'm kidding.
It's just because I've seen so many movies like about this, because it's like it's not a spoiler.
But not for animated movies, I don't think. Which is what I think was kind of cool.
But it's all emotion. It's all even though these are video game characters, they have human emotion.
Right.
That's why it's just so easy for me to like. No, it's like, oh, I get it. Vanellope wants to do her own thing, and Ralph wants to be buddy. It's just one of those things, It's just like that.
And I thought the end of the movie was actually, I like where they concluded. I just, like I was saying, I thought that the last act was just a little bit rushed, and it kind of just was all happening. The movie itself is very chaotic.
Very.
It's very all over the place, but I think that was appropriate
because there's a lot going
it's
on.
The internet.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's nothing more appropriate than having a movie about the internet be chaotic and all over the place.
I just like the jokes that like, for example, it's like these characters that were actual pop-up ads. They're holding a sign, and then
I said, it's like an Inside Out with the creative ways they come up with to have visual representations of emotions or character representations of emotions. It's kind of like that for this. You know what else I thought? It's like, did you see Ready Player One?
I saw it.
I never finished it.
I saw it. I saw it twice.
I got halfway. I never finished it.
I think that for me, like, Ready Player One was a lot about references and stuff, right?
Definitely.
I think that this is a better, like, just trying to do that goal of have a movie that's kind of about references and internet culture. I feel like this does a lot better job. Ready Player One is also blatantly offensive at one point. It actually annoys me.
Which part?
With the girl. When he says "I love you" after meeting her 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
That's not how this works.
Yep.
And people are saying that that's how it was in the book. In the book, here's the thing. I don't want to get too into this.
In the book, it's more built.
Right.
They build it up. And I think this would have been... I've read the book. I've listened to the audiobook. And I personally think the book has pacing problems, but the book is a little bit better.
I think the book is a lot better, and I think that In the book, it is because people complain where he basically like he never actually met her. But I'm like, hey, in this post-apocalyptic world that you're in, essentially, hey man, like I'm not gonna judge like what. And also in the book, it's like they've been messaging online for like 6 months. So my thing is like, all right, sorry, so God forbid like people care about each other based on what they say, whatever. It's all the old people out there that are like, how does this happen? Oh, maybe because people like what people say sometimes. Anyway, I love making fun of the older generation. It's a lot of fun. They're wrong on literally everything.
I think for me, like going into Ready Player One for 1 second.
What?
Ready Player One.
Yeah, what?
Like for me, I personally find the film
thrown off there.
I personally find the film to be like pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best scene is the Jade Key scene.
Which scene?
That's the scene with
Jade. Which one was that?
The Shining.
Which is The Shining?
The Shining from like the scene.
Oh,
with
The Shining. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that scene was just
cool.
Was just straight up awesome.
And Alejandro's leaving again, just packing up and going.
Yes, sorry, I gotta take care of some stuff. I'll be back probably. I'll definitely be back.
All right, cool. He really, when he leaves, he's just like he just packs up and goes. I don't know.
I'm
I
a busy
respect
man.
it.
What can I say?
I respect
I'm
it,
coming
man.
back, so
Okay.
eventually. So see you guys.
All right, see you, man.
I like the progression there.
Yeah.
He went from just standing up, and you ask him if he's leaving. He goes, I have to go take care of some stuff. And then he's like, I'll maybe be back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no,
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back. And then Trevor's like, maybe you should take your stuff. And he's like, no, I'm going to be back.
Yeah, right? He really did have a progression there. But yeah, just that's what I felt like with this movie is where it does reference culture. It does funny, like, nerd internet things. But it does it right. And I think that's why a little mini similarity, a through line there with this movie now. Although they're both very different. Although Ready Player One, a lot of it is animated. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really have any more thoughts on the movie. I know Gal Gadot's in it, not literally in it, but she voices a character in it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting character. Not great, but I thought she was fun while she was in it, which is cool that they had her in the movie. And I remember they announced it. I was like, wow. Like, also Gal Gadot, when is she going to be in something else? I don't know. I'm just interested to see what else she does besides Wonder Woman. But yeah, guys, I really liked Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2, whatever you want to call it. And I think that, and yeah, Ready Player One, I'm on because I just think that a lot of things in it bother me.
Anybody who's interested has Audible, like definitely.
I definitely recommend the book.
Yeah.
A lot of people complain about how the female character's done in that. I think that they're right, but also wrong, and I think that they are 100% right when it comes to the movie. It's like, bro, I literally almost, my skeleton jumped out of my back. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You couldn't even say, like, 2 months later to at least, you met her last night. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what is going on here? Oh my God. I was like, come on. And then guys wonder why, you know.
What? You don't believe in love at first sight?
Yeah. No, I don't. It's like, come on. You know what I mean? Like,
have you seen that video
this
of
is why
like?
girls get
Have you
freaked
seen
out,
that?
you know?
Have you seen that video of like? Well, she's very pretty to me.
oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
Dude, that's my favorite video ever. She is very gorgeous to me. It's just like so random. It's like become a meme. I love that. I'm gonna watch it over the break. But yeah, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of break. When we get back, I'm gonna give my thoughts on Creed 2, and then we're gonna keep it rolling and talk about our Thanksgiving breaks and our week, you know, our NFL picks and all that stuff. After I demolished Jack, just completely trounced him. So we're gonna get into that, guys.
In quotations.
Stay tuned. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair as I interrupt Mr. Jack Bartek.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. We're talking about something real good off there. Oh, believe me, it's my favorite. But before that, as promised, I want to talk about Creed 2. Creed 2 I also saw this weekend. Saw it with my dad on Saturday, otherwise known as the day after Friday. That was terrible.
I really want to see this movie so badly.
Trevor,
here's
you
the
all
thing.
right, buddy?
I really, really want to see Creed 2.
It was a movie, man. And here's the thing. First of all, you guys, Jack, I remember you were telling me that you wanted to like marathon all the Rocky movies or something. Like you want to.
It's awesome.
I like my thing was I've seen 1, 2, 3, or at least I saw most of the third Rocky. I don't remember if I saw 4, and people told me not to see 5, so I didn't see 5.
Nobody should see 5.
Yeah, 5 is the one that Sylvester Stallone is like, I pretend it doesn't exist. And I think the first movie is a classic. I think it's basically kind of a love story, and I think it works in a lot of ways. It is aged, where like you watch the boxing, and you're like, it just doesn't look as good when you see what we do now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's still cool, and it inspired people for a generation. You know what I mean? It inspired millions of people
I
for a
think it
generation.
still
that movie.
inspires people.
Oh, it still does for sure. And what do you say? And Apollo Creed, and this is Adonis Creed, of course, the son of Apollo Creed. That's what the Creed movies are about. And the first movie I thought was honestly one of the best, not just sports movies, just one of my favorite movies. Honestly, I thought that movie was brilliant. You haven't seen it, so I won't get into it too much. But
it is awesome. It's the way it introduced characters, the way it introduced boxers. It's so
it
it's
did a
so
great job.
unique.
It does a great job at staying true to the source material, but also providing new, giving homages and tributes to these old characters or references, and not having it just be about Rocky.
It's
for the
like
most part.
for me, like my problems with Rocky Balboa,
Mhm.
where it's just I don't want another Rocky movie. I want somebody else.
Right, and that's what's crazy about the movie. That's another thing, is that technically, basically, it's the seventh movie, yeah, because if you count Rocky Balboa, that early 2000s-ish movie.
Do you
It's like
count?
the 7th movie in the franchise.
Do you count it?
And then you're doing Creed, Rocky Balboa. I haven't seen that one either.
It's okay.
It's okay. I heard it was okay. I heard it was fine.
It was fine.
Made up for 5 certainly is what I've heard.
My dad like loves Rocky. Like, so he sat me down and said, we're gonna watch all the Rocky movies except for 5 because 5 is a piece of trash.
Yeah.
He said
the same thing.
5 is a flaming piece of garbage. Don't watch
I've heard
it.
5 is real bad.
He's like, especially the stuff in the street fight. I don't know what they're doing.
I've heard things about that. I only heard like it's like whispers. I've heard that the street fight. Like I heard these things. You know what I mean, of how bad it is. But what was I gonna say? And with Creed, what was so surprising about that movie is actually, there's a lot of layers there. There's just straight up good movie, not good sports movie or anything like that. There's just a lot of things in there that's like, what is going on? Like, that movie didn't have the right to be as good as it was. 7th movie in a series from like the 80s, 70s or whatever, and now it's starting the kid of Apollo Creed, and it's like, yeah, Michael B. Jordan, we all like him and stuff, from this Coogler guy who directed Fruitvale Station, which was good, also with Michael B. Jordan. And now Ryan Coogler, probably the best up-and-coming director we have. Not even probably, he definitely is. I don't want anyone to say Barry Jenkins, whatever. Barry Jenkins is phenomenal too, but no, it's Ryan Coogler. And I'm actually looking forward to that. If Beale Street could talk, I'm really looking forward to that movie. And then he, obviously goes on to direct Black Panther, and he did not direct this movie. It's by Stephen Caple Jr. And you guys heard the Creed 2 feature that was playing earlier. And yet, like I was saying, the first Creed, it was just such a surprise, man. It's about more, and the struggle in that movie is different, and it's why the Academy didn't like it. You know what I mean? Which I could get into, but I don't want to spoil anything for Jack whatsoever. So.
It has moments that I really like about it, because it's not just like another Rocky training another person. It's actually very much, I love the struggle in that movie. The struggle is so good.
But it's a different one. It's not your typical underdog story.
It's so unique, and I love Tessa Thompson's character.
She's great in that too.
She's so great, and I'm like, this is what I can't wait to see in Creed 2. I want to see it with my dad on Sunday.
Right.
On next Sunday. I want to go see it because I really want to see, oh my God, I really want to see Drago's kid.
So yeah, let me get right into it. My thoughts on Creed 2. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought that, it wasn't as good as the first one. I immediately knew that after seeing it. But I think that there were a lot of ways that the movie could have been done poorly, in the sense that, a lot of times when these, I don't want to, like I was saying, like Creed kind of came out of nowhere in terms of how good it was, that sometimes Hollywood likes to be like, oh, cool, keep it going. And then they push out a sequel, and it almost feels like they're milking it. So that's could have been a problem with this movie. And then you're not even bringing back Ryan Coogler. Instead, it's directed by Stephen Caple Jr., who really has only been behind a couple of independent films like The Land and A Different Tree, and The Land of Misfits, I believe, was another random one. I'm going to check right now. Yeah, The Land of Misfits. But still, he's probably capable. It's a huge jump. You know what I mean? And in Creed 2, like I said, I don't think that it's as good as the first one, but I thought that it was really well done in a lot of ways.
How was I'm going to ask something really nerdy. How is the directing in it?
Now here's the thing. Before I don't want to get into that just yet. First, I just want to get into the story.
I'm sorry.
Obviously it's about. Don't apologize. You have nothing to apologize for, bud. It's about the sequel to the first movie and Adonis Creed continuing to try and get the belt, be the championship of the world, and how he comes across Ivan Drago and his kid, the son of Ivan Drago. So for those who don't know, spoiler alert for like a 40-year-old movie, Ivan Drago famously killed Apollo Creed in a boxing match. Apollo Creed was past his prime. Still, he won the fight, and Rocky, kind of infamously did not throw the towel in, and he died there in the ring. And then he has that famous thing, which you guys might have seen the meme, which is like, if he dies, he dies. That's where that's from. When they ask him, he's like, "What if this is the end for him?" He's like, "If he dies, he dies." And Dolph Lundgren is in this movie, of course, as Ivan Drago, and his kid, who's played by a man named Florian Munteanu. And he is a big, and I don't know if I've mentioned, big guy. I thought his performance was fine. I thought Dolph Lundgren was actually pretty good, and he doesn't speak a lot in the movie. He kind of doesn't need to speak.
Really?
He does, but not a lot. It's almost like he doesn't need to speak.
Like, I really want to know.
He's very intimidating.
Like, does he just come across like he sees, like, is it like a stare down with Rocky?
There's some stare downs that'll make all the Rocky fans really excited and nerdy and, excited about that. And I think that's definitely, they did that really well. I will say this, though. The first reaction I had to the movie is this. First movie is about, it's about pride and legacy, and it's brutal. But this movie, if I had one word to describe just the themes and the tones of the movie, it's about pain.
That's interesting.
It's about pain. And I thought that there's a couple of scenes in this movie and just points where you're like, this is, I don't want to say painful to watch. Depends how sensitive you are to boxing violence and stuff, but it's certainly more brutal. It's more in your face, and it's obviously a struggle because, this is the guy that, in Adonis Creed, this is the guy who killed my dad. You know what I mean? And he didn't need to do that, but he brutalized him, and then he obviously had those awful comments after where he's like, if he dies, he dies, whatever. Just no regard, just a bully, essentially. And Rocky had to go into Russia and beat him up, of course. And then, you find where's Drago been? The movie goes into that. What happened to him? You know what I mean? What happened ever since he lost to Rocky Balboa, and how's he doing in his own country and all that? They go into that, which I won't spoil, of course.
I can't wait to watch that because as a Rocky fan, I'm just like, I really want to watch Ralph Breaks the Internet, but I really want to watch Creed 2 even more.
And I got to see both. Yes.
No,
I have no life.
Brag about it.
I have no life.
I just want to go see Creed 2 more because my dad is a diehard Rocky fan. So
and
yeah,
you good?
Sorry.
No. Stop apologizing. I love how Trevor and I are on the show. But yeah, if I had to describe the movie, I'd say that's about pain. There's, this is a fight that he has to, face, and it's like, hey, this dude killed my dad and all this stuff, and it's just brutal, man. The fighting is good. I think that it's done better in the first movie. However, there were a couple scenes in this movie. You talked about film directing, right?
Yeah.
The movie there's also definitely shades of family. Sylvester Stallone is still really good in it. Because I remember he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for the Oscars for the first movie, and I honestly think he should have won. And I think he would have won if not for some politics things that happened that I won't go into right now. And he's very good in this one. I like Drago in this because he doesn't really talk too much. The kid doesn't talk too much. The kid is a fighter who has known nothing but kind of violence, and that's all he knows how to do, and rage and fury and stuff. So there's a lot of things that happen in this movie that are brutal. It's a movie about pain, like I said, it really is. And I will say this though.
Trevor's excited.
Huh.
Trevor's so excited back here.
Oh, you did? Did you do what I think you just did?
No. He's excited about the movie. I wish that I was doing what you.
Oh man, don't worry. We got time, bro. We got time after this.
That's why I'm eating my fork.
And thank you for clarifying. And with this movie, it's also there's a family story in there too, and it's actually another thing. I said the movie is about pain. I don't mean to come across as this movie just being bleak the entire time. You know what I mean? This isn't Batman v Superman, some of the DC movies. There's still some humor sprinkled in there and some really smart humor and, good dialogue in there that I really appreciate too. So the whole ride isn't just like really somber and evil, but it gets there and it goes dark.
Would you say it's about overcoming pain?
I'd say it's about overcoming pain and necessarily going through it for sure. They get into Drago's backstory, both the kid and the father, a little bit. I say that might be one of my complaints about the movie is I feel like they could have done more, and I thought that they kind of just left it there. Some of the things, again, I don't want to get into too many details about the family and where are they in terms of what is their image in Russia.
Yes.
And I think that they kind of just tease things. Now, that could be because they might want to do another movie or something like that, and the end of the movie certainly suggests that there might be something, whether it be with Drago or any other number of other famous Rocky characters, perhaps.
Shout out to Clubber
But I'd also
Lang.
say, shout out to Clubber Lang.
Clubber
Prediction?
Lang.
Pain.
Prediction.
That's another one.
Pain.
That's another good one.
I love. Originally that was gonna be the villain.
Yeah. I heard that too. But so maybe they'll bring him back
Clubber
too.
Lang.
And what's interesting is, like you were talking about film directing, there are a couple of shots in this movie that are really like even if you're not into shots and stuff like that, there are a couple scenes. There's one with him towards the end of the movie where it's an over the head view of him on the ring that looks really good, of him like kind of on top of it.
That looks
they have some shots of like the back saying Creed and some of the back saying Drago and some of the stuff. Like I said, it's Ryan Coogler's just unbelievable, and I do think the first movie is better in a bunch of ways. I think the music was better. I think that just some of the pacing was a little bit better, but in general, I especially think the first hour of this movie is absolutely phenomenal. The build up, building up who is this guy, just introducing Drago. The build up to just introducing him is great.
Oh my God!
When he flies to, the States, when he makes his appearance known and stuff like that.
Oh my God!
Again, Michael B. Jordan's great. Great in this. Tessa Thompson, great. A lot of good acting for sure. And Stallone, I still think is great. Not as surprisingly great as he was in the first movie. I think that caught a lot of people off guard. But nevertheless, I thought it was a lot of fun, man. And I think it's a really good movie. I was a little bit nervous about it, which I mentioned before. I thought that there was just potential for it to not be good. I thought it could be one of those things where you look up and all of a sudden it's like got a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like, oh, we should have never done a sequel to this. Should have left it alone or whatever. But I really like the movie, man. And it's rare that I feel like I see two movies that just released in a weekend, essentially. But shout out Thanksgiving break, I was able to do that, and I enjoyed both of them. Both totally complete things, meaning Ralph Breaks the Internet and Creed 2. Completely different movies, but I think that Creed 2 is really good, man. But I would say, though, because I know my mom really liked the first one, but she doesn't like watching boxing. She has trouble watching people get hit in the face and the head movement, like that type of violence. I told her, I don't know if she should necessarily see this, because this movie is very much about being brutal with the fights, both him literally in the ring and what he has to do mentally and physically to prepare for some of these things. It's a brutal movie.
Do you think it's good to see in a large screen or no?
It's not necessary. It's nothing like that. I don't think
because
many movies are necessary for IMAX or anything like that, unless you
want to. Medium-sized screen.
Yeah, whatever. It's not like a movie that it is, absolutely pertinent for you to see it on IMAX or anything like that.
Okay.
It's certainly not 3D. I mean, I'm not a big fan of 3D. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on Creed 2.
I just want
not much else to say. Alejandro's not here, so I was going to ask him about his thoughts, but whatever.
Alejandro, he just pops in and out whenever he pleases.
Pops in and out whenever he pleases. So yeah, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we get back, we're just going to hang out. We're going to talk Thanksgiving. Some of the things that we did. Thanksgiving football, of course. We're going to get into that too, for sure. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Still got plenty of show left, and I'm excited for what else we're going to be doing over the break that you guys can't be a part of, unfortunately. But let's just say I have a surprise for Trevor. I'll be here all week, guys. Don't worry. I'll be here all week. Stay tuned, guys. Listen to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You're listening to The Digital Dash. I'm being joined by my assistant DJs, Mr. Trevor Joya.
Hello.
And Mr. Jack Bartek.
I'm full.
Bro, I'm full, too.
I'm full.
Man, and I had more than you guys, too. I just decided to end my life.
I could take a mean nap right now.
I'm going to have an apple for dinner.
I just really going to probably get a lean cuisine for dinner.
Do you think your mom's listening right now?
Yeah, my mom is definitely listening right
shout
now.
out to you again. I know she comments on the Facebook post and mentioned the pie. Yeah, your pie is amazing.
The
my
pie,
gosh. I just destroyed it.
I don't eat pie that much, and that pie was just so good. It tasted like a Reese's Pieces.
Good. It tastes like Reese's Pieces. It was soft, Maybe that's just because, the delivering and all that stuff too. It was like gooey, but in a great way.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was too filling. You know what I mean? Because sometimes pies can be like that. And shockingly, what I thought was going to happen was I would be turned off because it would be too sweet. Because that's one of my problems with pecan pie, where sometimes it's just too much. Even though I love pecan pie, I can only have like one slice, and then it's like, oh my gosh. With this, I was like, no, this is fine. It doesn't overdo it. You know what I mean? Great stuff. Great stuff from Ms. Bartek.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great stuff.
On behalf of the Bartek family, we appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So speaking of family, we just went through what perhaps is the big holiday known for family stuff, right? And that's Thanksgiving. So where do you guys want to start with our little Thanksgiving recap? Because we got a whole other hour.
I just want to say you live for these transitions.
I really do, man.
You really do.
And also, when you said apple, I don't know if
Apple?
you saw how hard I was laughing over here. It made me think of this tweet that I retweeted this weekend.
I'm about to check it right now.
It says it's from Norm Kelly. He I forget. He's like one of the mayors in Canada or something.
he's like the most famous politician on Twitter.
So good. Please, I recommend you follow him at Norm on Twitter. And he tweeted something like, it's sickness season, so have an apple a day to keep the doctor away. And it's a picture of a person throwing an apple at a doctor, and the person is saying, take this apple, stay away from my family. And the doctor is like, oh no, my one weakness.
It's funny, man. I remember when I forgot who he added, and this is where the famous picture comes in, where he printed out an L.
Oh my God, the L.
The L. I forgot who that was. Was that Meek Mill? Because remember he took.
It might have been.
That picture of Meek. This was one of my favorites, where it was like that picture of Meek Mill with the money on his. And he's
Oh
like,
my God.
And then his caption was like, "When your girlfriend lets you play with your money" or something like that. Because who was it? Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
That was who Meek Mill was with at the time. So that was just really funny. That was hysterical.
And then there was back to back.
Yeah, man. Oh man, back to back. How many platinum disc records do we know?
Wow.
Oh my
I
gosh.
still listen to that.
It's crazy because Charged Up was the first one, and
Yeah.
it was like, all right.
And like I just listened to that
then
the
it
other
came back
day.
again.
It was pretty good. Like if
Charged
he
Up?
just put out that, I feel like
Huh.
everybody went, okay, like
But
all right.
then,
What's up?
I mean,
But then
he wasn't done.
wow.
But then
What's up?
Drake kind of got murked. So
Yeah, that was crazy this summer.
I thought he was done because the jam was good too, the beat, and we're all like,
Yeah.
"Yep, Drake
I
wins
just-
again," and all of a
I-
sudden things
I-
got
Dude,
taken to another
what
level.
was-
I just like passion fruit.
Passion Fruit's
That's a
great.
good song.
Pat-
What was Duppy
Passion.
freestyle?
Yeah,
Like that was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
People were saying Drake had already won. Like
yeah, but
with
then,
the like he
mean,
sent the
nobody-
invoice and everything. He put the invoice
Yeah.
up on his Instagram. Like that was crazy. And then I don't think that he expected them to have the information that they had. And reading on it now, you just see that there was some really shady stuff going on with
Oh, yeah.
somebody inside Drake's circle. And I don't know if anybody
man.
knows who it was,
bro,
but
that was insane.
The rivalry.
Oh, it's not a rivalry. It was a massacre.
Yeah.
Rivalry suggested was even-sided. It
but he
was
bounced
not.
back with the album. I feel like the
I
album
didn't like
still
the album. I'm one of my things is I'm out on Drake. I'm out. I'm done.
really.
I'm done. I think Scorpio was way too long. I think that he should just do. I think there's like 5 songs in there that we'll actually listen to more.
It still did really well.
It did really. No, I'm talking.
I
about
was
in terms of the
surprised. I
quality.
thought that he would take more of a hit than he did with the
Oh, yeah.
album.
I think people were. I think people wanted to see if he was going to respond.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
think you can respond, bro. He ended his everything.
No, and he did say that he like had a response,
Yeah,
didn't
but
come out with it.
did
I
he?
wonder.
Nah,
I
bro.
wonder because what could he have possibly said that would have been
Bro,
worse than what was
That's like
brought on him?
when your boy says that he has a girlfriend, but it's and he says she's from another town. You know what I mean? That's what that is like. I wish I came up with
this
that. I
is
saw
the
that on
tweet, by
Twitter.
the way.
Which one? Oh, the L. Oh my gosh, bro.
Is
Oh
that
my
Meek
gosh,
Mill?
it's so good.
Classic.
But yeah, back to Thanksgiving
Back
stuff.
to Thanksgiving. We digress.
We were talking about pie and stuff like that, and man, how was just like your meal? How was your Thanksgiving meal, guys?
I had 2 Thanksgivings,
Mm.
technically.
2. I mean, I had 2 too.
I don't like that smirk he's got going on right now.
Um,
It makes me nervous.
I had
me
one
nervous, too.
with relatives that were just
Okay.
relatives.
Okay.
It was just okay.
Okay.
Like the meal,
Relatives that
the
were
meal,
just
the meal was
relatives.
amazing. The food was really good. It was just the people were just so intense.
Oh my god.
I'm just
Sounded like a
like,
dying
What's
turtle
just
over
happened
there.
over there?
Sounded like a
Is
dying animal. It
everything
was like
okay back there?
And I got to and then on Friday I got to eat another dinner with my family, with my
Immediate family.
yeah.
Interesting.
because like, and then my brother brought his girlfriend over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really
Shouts
nice.
to your brother. What's your
Yeah.
brother's name?
Mitchell.
Mitchell?
Yeah, Mitchell.
Shout out Mitchell Joya.
Mitchell Joya.
Mitchell
Yeah.
Joya.
It's a pretty cool name.
Pretty cool name.
Yeah.
I had 2 gay Thanksgivings of my own. I technically had 3, but I had one which was at my brother-in-law's family's house, step-brother-in-law's family house. That was really fun. We got into like a whole big discussion about, there were fluids that were around when it comes to alcoholic beverages and stuff. Everyone drink responsibly, of course. And we got into the thing about like, it's fun having someone to talk about with like video game stuff and like the really like industry stuff that I love so much, where it's like Rockstar and did they abuse their employees and all these things. And we also got into Le'Veon Bell for a little bit, where we were just like, hey, remember that you're allowed to be, if you know what's wrong with sports fandom, that's the most hated Pittsburgh Steeler is going to be Le'Veon Bell and not Ben Roethlisberger. So that's the problem with sports fandom.
I don't know how Ben Roethlisberger is not the most hated person in all of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but
after everything that happened was that
sports. Can you throw the ball? We don't care. Did you murder 3,000 people? Whatever. You can throw the football.
OJ.
OJ.
Well, to be fair, his was like later though. But still, people kind of still like a little bit, with OJ. Man,
if the glove don't fit,
do you ever see that 30 for 30?
If the glove don't fit, it must.
You can drop a bar, man. That's all you need. Did you watch the 30 for 30? That was just all footage, basically, in VO of like, just everything that happened on that day. Where it wasn't just the OJ chase. It was like Game 7 of the finals. World Series, I think, was going on.
That's
no,
crazy.
not the same time, but like it was something like that. Arnold Palmer was retiring. Like it was these crazy. It was like 8 different stories that day.
Wow.
Look up the 30 for 30. It's just a date. I forgot what the date was, but the day of the OJ chase, and they just like kind of like
that must have been
edited together all of them.
Like, could you imagine just like?
And it's crazy because all the stories that happen. This is like the earthquake for baseball or something like that, and it's like those would have all been the number 1 stories, but then you had arguably the most famous celebrity / sports story.
Imagine
ever,
like
honestly,
Tom
for
Brady.
a day. Oh, I know,
you
right?
just wake up to like tomorrow morning and Tom Brady is in like a huge car chase.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
I'd be dying of laughter.
I wouldn't be dying of laughter, even me, and I can't wait for Tom Brady to be bad. I'd just be like, huh?
Facts.
Be like, what?
I'll be like. I'll be like.
He just did his laugh. I love that. He just did his laugh.
I'll be like.
I thought he was
I'll be
gonna
like.
say
I don't
something
care.
more,
I
it
don't
was
care if
just
I'm
his
offending
laugh.
any New England Patriots fans. I just think that would be hilarious to watch Tom Brady in the white Bronco or a white Suburban car.
Oh my gosh. But
The white Suburban, like just driving down the road, be like, I'm going as fast as I can, or in the lawnmower.
For sure.
A lawnmower would be even more hilarious.
That'd be interesting to see how he does that. But yeah, then I had Thanksgiving. I had Friendsgiving actually with some friends of mine on Friday. That was really fun. That was super chaotic too. One person very loud, which I'll get into off the air. It'll be a lot of fun. But that was a lot of fun. Just a Friendsgiving. I've never done a Friendsgiving before, and I see that. It's something we'll try and do again. And then I had like Thanksgiving, mini Thanksgiving with my mom and dad. After my dad and I got back from watching Creed 2, and he came over and watched The Incredibles 2 because my mom hadn't seen it before. So we just
really?
she had it on and we just left it on. And man, my mom can make some great food, man. And also, her desserts are good. I should have brought that in. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I should have brought my cannoli.
I just
dip in.
realized I have a rice pudding that my mom makes.
I have.
And we have a lot left over. I'm gonna bring that in as
I have
payment for your peanut butter cookie.
I have cannoli
pie.
dip.
Really?
Yeah, in my dorm.
We should just do this next week. Oh my gosh, it's a date. There we go. That's what the thing on
Cannoli dip.
That should be. So yeah, what about you, Jack? How was your family givings and
I had a really
foods?
good break. My break started early on Monday
Nice.
because
Oh my
all my
God,
professors were very considerate, and
Wow.
I have off on Tuesdays, and my 3 Wednesday classes were canceled, so I had off from Tuesday through Sunday, and
Nice.
Tuesday played football with my friends because all my friends came home from school, and
Nice,
then
nice.
Wednesday played football again, and then Wednesday afternoon cooked, baked, just got ready for Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving Day, it was actually just like my immediate family, me, my mom, my dad, my 2 sisters, and the food was really good.
Mhm.
And then for dessert, my cousins came over, had a little dessert, a little pie action.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Hung out.
Best kind of
My
action.
sister's friend. Yeah, of course. My sister's friends came over, watched some home videos. We got like one of those really old TVs out from the basement with the VHS thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And we started watching old home videos.
I can't wait for that to eventually happen because I know it's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be like, why did you guys wait all this time to finally do
Yeah,
this?
not to toot my own horn. I was a really cute baby.
Bro, I was too. I'm ugly now. I don't know what happened, bro. You got to see that. Just look at my Instagram, bro. It's crazy. I was a baller. I don't know what happened.
There's one video of me where I guess I had been to the doctor earlier in the day, and I'm sitting in my high chair, and it's just like on the table in front of me is just like chicken nuggets and fries just like strewn about on the table, and like I'm sitting there and like I start to get the history nod. Well, I'm asleep at first, then my mom wakes me up and she's asking me like, "Did you have a long day, Jack?" And I was like 2 or 3, so I'm not like responsive, and like my eyes are all bloodshot. Like I just woke up. I'm like, all woozy around, and then it's like the film skips for a second and it comes back and I'm knocked out of sleep, and like I keep getting the history nods. It was really funny.
That's great.
And then Friday, put up decorations, which is terrible. It's the worst day of the year. Everybody gets into arguments because it's putting up decorations. Nobody wants to do it.
For me and my mom, it's not too bad. We have like a fake tree. We have this bright red one that's really dope. We got the tree. We did that part. But it's simple.
My mom is like, get a real tree. We're the day we get a fake tree is the day
We go fake tree too.
Yeah,
I go real.
We decorate
because
like we go hard with decorations. I'm gonna take a video so you can see how hard we go with decorations.
Yeah. There's some people that go hard.
I am, my mom is one of the few people that I know of is like, as soon as Thanksgiving over, she brings out all the Christmas stuff. She's like, let's start.
And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I'm not fine with
I'm fine.
this Christmas music BS. You know what I mean? Right after Halloween, it's Christmas music time.
Okay,
it's because Christmas music is that good that we have to listen to it for a month and a half. You love it that much.
Wait until Thanksgiving's over.
Come on.
Can we do that?
Can we talk about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Sure. I didn't get to watch it because I
watched the whole thing. It was a cringe fest. It was such a cringe fest because I can give you the whole rundown. There are artists that I had no clue who the heck they were.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Restate what you were saying.
You had artists that I don't know who they were. You had really weird moments of like floats being like interesting, but at the same time being like they're floats. But the only good balloon was the Goku balloon from Dragon Ball Z, and the rest were all just like so forgettable.
Yeah.
The only one moment that I really liked was the Sour Patch. The Sour Patch Kids, where it was Bad Bunny, and he was like this some Latin singer or something like that, Puerto Rican singer, and all of a sudden you see the camera pan and you see this kid just dabbing the whole time, and just like, and they're all just flossing or they're all just doing stupid.
I love how the dab still isn't like it's still a dance like a move that people love to do.
It's
whether
not
it's
even
ironically or
unironically.
unironically.
It's like a total meme.
Yeah, it's like a total meme. Like people
it's
really fun. It's like still there. You know what I mean?
Like I saw it and I'm like, this is so funny, but I'm just like, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Rita Ora. Did you hear about this?
No.
Rita Ora like messed up on her lip syncing.
Oh really?
It was so great. I would pay money just to watch that.
I just like. I'm really upset.
So
I wanted to watch it. I just forgot it was on, I guess.
It was so funny.
Me
because
and my dad were like, whatever.
I should have texted you. Because it was like, there were some moments where you're just like, huh, that's interesting. Like the Rita Ora moment. That was like, huh.
That's peculiar.
That's peculiar. You can tell she's lip syncing. At least some of the people are trying.
And really quickly, though, Jack, you were mentioning how you're watching the home video stuff. Do you remember the part in Friday Night Lights where they're all with Jason Street looking at his highlight tape or whatever, and how sad that is? Man, we're talking about Friday Night Lights.
Jason Street deserved
I'll go 3
better.
hours. I'll go 3 hours on that show.
I'll probably watch it.
I wrote an article like a while ago on my blog about which are the best seasons, comparing like East Dillon versus West Dillon. It was really fun. Oh man,
it's funny that you bring that up because I pulled up ESPN so I could see the scores of the football game. So when we talk about that, I could talk about it. And there's a picture of J.J. Watt arriving to the game tonight, and he has on a Dillon Panthers sweatshirt.
I like that. I like that. You gotta love that. If I ever get a jersey, it's gonna be a sports jersey. I know a lot of people like to do that when they go to college parties. That's just a thing for some reason. Everyone thinks they're really creative. So maybe I'll do that. Not for that, but I'll just like maybe. Get, like,
I want to get I want to get a Mighty Ducks, Mighty Ducks like the Anaheim Ducks '90s logo.
For sure, man.
Because that thing is awesome. I love that logo.
But yeah, it's cool to see all your guys' stories here and whatnot. And now we're just waiting for Mr. Adam Grassani. I think he should be coming in any second to his newscast because it's the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And when I say that Jack, am I just unstoppable?
And
what?
it's a 2-for-1 special.
It is a 2-for-1 special. Oh, and Alejandro's back too.
We get Alejandro back.
Wow.
2-for-1
Look at
special.
this. All right,
Here on the Digital Dash.
Mr. Adam Grassani is going to give us his newscast. So, Adam, when you are ready, I assume you're ready. Are you ready there, bud?
Adam does not look like he's ready. She said. This is a serious rush of Adam. He literally just stepped into the studio, not even at the mic yet. Can't even talk to himself.
He just needs a couple seconds. No problem, bud. Just get ready there. He's taking out his laptop with Pikachu on there.
I'm going to kill you after this.
Pika.
For me, like,
What, Trevor? Who did you message over Thanksgiving? Oh, my bad. What's up?
I don't know if you've spoken about this yet, but I want to get your opinion. What do you think about Detective Pikachu? Ryan Reynolds?
we talked about this, right?
It looks okay. Like it looks.
It's CGI. Come on.
All in.
It looks okay, but I'm just more. I'm just
go.
more excited for Godzilla.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Exactly.
Godzilla.
Exactly right.
Godzilla's like. I'm like waiting for Godzilla because I just want to see it in IMAX because I want to see it on the loudest possible screen ever.
Well, me and my girlfriend actually over this Friday we saw Saturday we saw the new Pokemon movie, Power of Us.
Oh yeah, the animated one.
Yeah,
I heard about this. This was
it came out already?
I liked it. I mean,
it was okay.
It was alright. I mean, I really like the new character Risa. She's definitely like a highlight, and the new Pokemon Zero. I forgot how you pronounce his name, but the new Pokemon they introduced, it was. It was great. It was badass.
Hey.
I'm not sure if you can say on there, but that's basically
probably not. So I'm gonna dump that real quick. But it's okay. It's okay. I could do that. But Adam was just saying that, and about the Pokemon movies, the Pokemon Let's I Choose You, which was like a remake of like kind of the opening stuff. All I saw on Twitter when this went viral is that Pikachu talked. So therefore, the movie's trash. Now, Adam, give us your newscast here.
Thank you, Javier. You're listening to 9.3 WM.
And we are back here on the Digital Dash, and now Javier has abandoned me behind the board, and he's working his way back to his mic over there so I could tell him about how I owned him on his picks this week.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
What kind of mic did you leave me with back here? This thing's like...
It wasn't me, bro. I mean, it was, but then it wasn't.
It wasn't me.
Can I drop this seat down?
I think you can. You should.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Right, that explains a lot.
There you go.
This is a level playing field.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's talk about these picks.
Yes, sir. So let's.
I have. He won clearly because let's go over the picks. Okay, you had Chicago.
Yeah.
You had the Deadskins.
Okay, that one I did. I'll own up to it. I did go crazy, and I was like Mark Sanchez, who didn't even play, but whatever.
You had the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Which was.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the ones that you got.
That I had my picks.
You had Saxonville.
Yes, I did.
You had Saxonville.
Okay.
You had the Browns.
I did. Did they win? Yeah, they won by a lot, right?
You had the New England Patriots.
Okay.
You had the Eagles.
Okay.
You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have no idea who even won. Was it the Bucs?
It was the Bucs. Yeah.
It was the game.
They were playing
watched.
the Niners.
Yeah,
so.
nobody watched that game.
It's Tank Bowl.
And who else?
You had You both had the Panthers.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was unfortunate.
Wow.
They should have won that game.
They should have won. They should have won like their last two games.
Yeah.
They lost to Detroit.
They lost 3 in a row now.
The Ravens. You had the Ravens.
Lamar.
You had the LA Chargers.
Of course I did.
You had the Steelers.
They won, right? No, they lost.
They
did
lost.
lose. Ben
Why am I
Roethlisberger threw that-
forgetting who won
He
this?
threw an
lost?
interception in the end zone.
Oh, man, I was watching that live. Too.
It's because you weren't listening to my morning buzz this morning. You were too busy
Indianapolis, you had I think you guys both had the Colts.
Indeed.
And who did the Colts play again?
I don't know.
Miami? I think they played Miami.
They played Miami. They
Yeah,
won
they won.
27-24. Vinatieri hit the game-winning field goal.
Mm-hmm. He
Um,
did have one awful kick though. At one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Here-
Saw that?
here's-
Did that
He
get blocked?
shanked it. I
here's
don't know.
I thought
here's
it
my
got blocked.
here's my
It
favorite
had to have been blocked.
here's my favorite one. You had Green Bay Packers,
Okay.
and guess who won that game? Minnesota.
Yeah. Why is that the one that you like the most? Sorry that I picked Aaron Rodgers to win the
No,
game.
no, I like the fact that you chose the Deadskins. You chose the Redskins.
I did.
That one just made me just be like,
Well, because I did the thing where I looked at Jack and I was like, you know what? Mark Sanchez is back, baby. Who didn't play?
and
didn't
and
even
let's
play.
go
Cole
over
McCoy.
Jack's.
I'm not
That's
gonna
why
use
they
it.
lost, right?
Yeah,
because,
it is why they
because
lost,
Mark
right?
Sanchez
I don't
didn't
know what
play.
to say,
Let's
man.
go over Jack's picks.
If he could beat the Pats
Because
Lamb and Foxborough,
He
then could
he
beat
got the
Dallas.
Bears.
Okay.
He got the Cowboys.
Okay.
He got the Saints.
I was perfect on Thanksgiving Day.
He got the
Yeah.
Bills. Which he got the
Yeah.
Browns.
Yes.
He got the Jets.
No,
You
that's
just gave me a point. Thanks.
He didn't get the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he picked the Giants.
two
he
losses.
picked the
Two
Giants.
losses.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
6-2.
The Panthers.
Okay.
6-3.
The Ravens.
Okay.
7.
The LA Chargers.
Okay.
The Steelers.
Okay.
The Colts.
Okay.
And Minnesota Vikings.
And then he got the Vikings one, so that's what put him
Yeah.
over the top.
So I went 10-4,
Man,
and I got the Texans tonight.
it's crazy because I was watching that game because then I was thinking about the picks yesterday. I was like,
Yeah.
let me see if how much.
I was
gonna
doing
beat
the
Jack
same
by
thing
this
all
week.
weekend.
I should have
And-
sent it to you.
It's funny because I could have sworn that I picked the Vikings. That was not a game that I was worried about. Like, oh, this is when I was like, wait, I'm not disputing it. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's whatever. Like, I probably did pick the Packers, but I really do remember being like, you know what? I think that they're just a mess right now. I think Mike McCarthy's getting fired, and that they don't know how to use Aaron Jones correctly, who's amazing, and that the Vikings are just too talented all over the
That's
place.
like
I'm just surprised that I picked the Packers.
I thought I picked the Jaguars and I picked the Bills. I don't know why. I don't know what in my
I just
right
thought that
mind
had
made
to-
me pick the Bills. But
yeah, I thought that was just like a save face game, and nope. So they lost to the Bills.
So-
that to me was just encompasses all the Saxonville
Mhm.
year.
Do you like saying Saxonville? Is that
Yeah.
is
he
that what
enjoys
I'm-
it.
that's what I'm
Jacksonville and
It's
Deadskins
so-
are his
Yeah.
two favorite teams.
It's so funny to call the Deadskins because it's just so funny because I hate Washington Redskins.
They're not.
And
very
I,
good
and I like
football
calling Saxonville because it's just hilarious.
Mhm.
Because they can't create a pass or they can't they can't do anything that's logical.
You know
So
what?
they're like,
There's
They-
a lot of things that they can't do.
Yeah,
Believe me,
exactly.
there are a lot of things they can't do. And speaking of them, before we start off the show, they benched what's
Blake
his face,
Bortles,
right?
yeah.
Blake Bortles,
Who they
the
paid
the
a
walking
boatload of money.
the walking inception arm.
He's like, bro, he's like a walking.
Him and Nate Peterman, stepbrothers too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nathan Peter meme.
He had like 100. He had like 95 yards.
That's really bad.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
really bad.
He had like 95 yards and 2 picks.
You
No
could pick
touchdowns.
like any high school quarterback in the country, put him behind an NFL O line, and they throw for 100 yards.
It's like
Even
So-
junior leagues can do better than Blake Bortles.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey not having the best time right now.
No,
think it's fair to
no,
say
he's
that.
getting traded.
Yeah.
He's
no,
on his way out.
they can't. They can't.
They're gonna trade him.
No. are you
If not
sure?
during the season, during the offseason.
I
I
bet
don't
you.
think they can, dude. He's too young. He's too
I know,
young.
but he's not
that
happy there.
contract is too team
He's
friendly.
really not happy there.
You sure? I don't think they can do it, dude.
I
don't think they can do it. If they,
I don't.
To
I
be
don't.
fair, it's not like this is a smart organization. Not one of the really bad ones, but so it's like you can't put it past anyone that isn't a smart organization to trade their best player. I just think that he's too young. That's a hard position to find, and his contract is so generous that like how many teams would probably want Jalen Ramsey? Oh yeah, all the
Everybody.
31 NFL.
You'll
teams.
get a good deal for him though,
Yeah,
probably.
you would. So you'd get a huge haul. You have to
And
give up a
then you
lot.
get the Jacksonville.
The Rams should do it.
Have you
Power
seen the
move.
Jacksonville
Oh my
guy?
The Rams
God.
should do it. Power move. And
I'd
be
just
like-
give up all your
just be
first
like,
round
yeah, they're
picks.
just like, whatever. We're gonna be good for 3 years anyway. Let's
Yeah.
go.
They'd easily win the next 3 Super Bowls.
It would be
Could you
great.
imagine? Jeez.
What if LA does really good? Like
They are. It's happening right now. Like currently, they are very good.
Mm. What you mean, the Rams?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the better LA team. Sorry.
I don't know if like
Says the Chargers fan.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Unbiased.
man. Unbiased, man. I don't got no jersey on. I don't know what you mean, bro. I just have a Los Angeles shirt on. What, Jack? Can you? I might have missed the game. What is it that Philip Rivers did? Can you?
He played awesome. He played really well.
All right.
He went 28 of 29.
That's
Started
pretty
out the
good.
game 25 straight completions.
Really?
NFL record.
Wow, yeah, that is an NFL record. Jack's just like
They're still the second best team in LA. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, they are. The Rams, bro. Okay, so did you watch the Rams Chiefs game?
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. So I was thinking, like, how did the fantasy defenses do? The Chiefs' fantasy defense allowed over 50 points. Guess how many points they got? Fantasy football.
Because they had a few picks, and I think they had one. Did they have a pick six or no?
They scored 11 points.
They scored 11. Yeah, fantasy football defense.
You start with
so
10,
silly.
so they gained a point, giving up 50 plus
It's ridiculous.
points.
It's just about what plays they make.
Yeah,
not how
exactly.
many points you give up.
Exactly.
You could give up 75.
You
but
could
it's
have
like,
one.
Oh,
you,
you had a touchdown.
you could have one catch for 90 yards and a touchdown, and you have a better day than somebody who has 10 catches for 50 yards.
Yeah, it's like come on, bro. I PPR scoring is so much better.
Yeah.
It just really is.
Yeah.
Bro, pray for my fantasy team though. If I could salvage, if I could be a little scumbag that I am and win another game off of nonsense. A couple weeks ago I traded Rob Woods and Deion Lewis for Keenan Allen, which was like not a really good trade on paper. It's turned out really well for me. Keenan Allen is turning up right now. So.
Rob Woods, watch out. He's going to be a late season weapon, especially for my fantasy teams.
You know what he is? He's like a top 10 fantasy receiver.
Yeah.
But he's like a fringe because he's not going to get you, it feels like, those blow-up games. He's just always going to get you 15.
It also
Which is
helps.
good,
It
but
also
it's just
helps
not.
his numbers that Cooper Kupp got hurt, and
Yeah, true.
you never want to see somebody get hurt. But I'm saying
for
just
sure.
just for his fantasy numbers, it helps.
Yeah, it's been, rough for the Rams in terms of that aspect of it. I think that, what was I going to say? I'm really excited because I just have to go up against the Houston defense. So if Tennessee could like do what they did 2 weeks ago and blow people up, that'd be great.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
See, I'm like
right now. Pray for me, ladies and gentlemen, because if I can, I have like no points scored this year. I've been so lucky. I genuinely do think though that my team got pretty good the past couple years or past couple weeks.
Check out the score, and we're gonna take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll talk maybe a little bit more football, and I don't know, whatever else you want to talk about, because it's your show and not mine. So we'll be back. Trevor,
Hi.
What do you think about today?
I,
It's a rainy day. It's a gross day.
It's a very rainy day. It's very weird.
It's just got that vibe to it, like that rainy day vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That was a great way to like stall for time. I really like how you did that there. Hey, so what do you think about today? Hey, do that, man. It's good. Better than that.
I was just waiting for you to get over there
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just had to press record.
so I could talk to you about how I beat you in our football picks.
Yeah, whatever. Broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean?
Did you guys speak about baseball at all?
Is
We-
he on?
Did you guys speak about baseball at all?
We did not
baseball.
speak about baseball at all yet.
Not really.
I don't-
what's
I
that?
I'm
don't-
down to talk about baseball.
Not so much about like the teams. I guess it's a better question. Do you guys like baseball?
I love baseball.
I don't like
I
baseball.
do, but I understand when people don't.
I
'Cause
don't. I
it's- yeah,
don't
I
like.
agree.
I'm not.
That's a
I don't
great-
really
that's a
watch
great
it
point.
because
I hate.
I know what you're saying.
I hate baseball. I
It's
think
just because
it's
it's so slow.
It's slow and it's very statty.
It's very.
Fantasy baseball, I'm like such a nerd. I love fantasy baseball, but I can't find enough people for it. Jack, you like fantasy baseball?
I don't play fantasy. I've never played fantasy baseball. I've
it's
played
hard,
football.
man.
I've played basketball. Never played fantasy baseball because it's
that
a
one
long season.
It is a long season. That's why I get it. And it's like, why am I watching the Yankees play the Oakland Athletics for the 4th time this year in August when I could be doing anything else? So it's like, because I remember I'd be hearing sometimes being like, this generation, Michael Wilbons of Lord, who I love, by the way. I love PTI. He'll be like, hey, this because this generation doesn't have an attention span. It's like, no, this generation just realized, why am I watching the Yankees play the Orioles in August for the 4th time when they have
Baseball-
70 games left? Who cares?
Baseball's the type of thing you really gotta love the sport.
You really do.
Like, you
And
could
have
be a
to start
casual
early.
fan of pretty much any other sport. Baseball, I feel like you really either love it or you hate it. There's no middle
For
ground.
me, it's just this whole like, my it's just for me like because I can't sit still for a long period of time. I can sit still for movies because they just keep me entertained. I can sit still for a hockey game because I know it's intense and the pacing is fast. Baseball is just the one sport that just drives me. No offense to baseball fans at all. I respect baseball. I love the Yankees. I will say that I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm not.
You're a die easy Yankee fan.
I'm a die easy.
Bandwagon.
Like me for the Clippers. Like
Bandwagon.
Me for the Clippers.
How about those?
No,
Clippers?
that's not die easy.
No.
Die easy's like, you're like, Oh, it's similar though. It's similar though.
It's
but
like it's like for me, like my parents are Yankees fans.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be a Yankee fan if my parents were a Yankee because like there's so many things I hate about them, but I just grew up like kind of invested in them and whatnot.
I've been to so many Yankee games that I'm just like, yeah, they're good. They're good.
Huh, how about that?
And I'm just like,
That's interesting.
for me, like I'd rather sit at home and watch a movie or something like that, and go to the movies. And then people are like, "Oh, that's so boring." I'm like, "Well, for me, it's fun."
Hey man, whatever makes
To
you
each
happy.
his own.
You know what I
Whatever
mean?
each his own.
Floats your boat.
That's what they say. Montclair State. It's all here.
It is all here.
Whatever makes you happy, Trevor. You know, whether it be, you know, your movies you watch, the people you may talk to, people you might want to talk to, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean, Trevor? And I think that I understand why people may not like baseball. You know, I understand because it is slow. And I think for me, you know what my take is? Put the playoffs in August. Nothing happens in August, man. Take away some of these games. You don't need. The problem is that would throw off a lot of stats. I get that.
Yeah.
But who
What do you-
cares, man?
No,
Bury it.
no.
What do you mean nothing happens in August?
For
Nothing
me,
happens
like
in
they
August,
need
bro.
to condense the season.
Pre-games, preseason.
Yeah, who watches preseason football?
Yeah,
A lot of people, unfortunately. But it's awful, and everyone only watches it because they're starved for something. Put the playoffs there. Does anybody care about baseball in September? The answer is
Yeah,
no.
September baseball is some
No.
of the best baseball. It's
Yeah,
when
a
the
little bit, I
playoff
guess.
race.
No.
Yeah,
But not as
so-
much. Not as much, but a little bit. It's just,
I-
I'd
it
rather
starts
just
getting
cut
crazy
to the
during
chase.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, it's
Javier.
Cut to
October.
the chase,
It's
man.
October once it starts getting crazy.
Yeah, even it's just sometimes I'm like, man, but like football's.
When do you
odd.
think
It's-
football starts getting crazy? January, February, right? Of course. Well, January
Football
Super
gets
Bowl.
crazy after like, I think week 4 is my number now.
Week
I can't tell anymore. I think you only can learn things about who's good
Mm-hmm.
after 4 weeks, something like that.
Here's my thing with football.
Because like
and
Dallas was
baseball.
like what 2-4 at
Yeah,
one
yeah,
point.
yeah.
They looked awful, and now they're gonna probably win the division. So
Here's my thing with football and baseball. So people always talk about how, baseball has, it's so boring. It has there's no action.
Mhm.
But football, who everybody seems
Yeah.
to love, in a 3.5 hour, maybe 4 hour game, there's only about 10 minutes of actual action. in the game.
The only game that I liked recently was the Chiefs versus the Rams. That was like watching a
That
Madden.
was crazy.
That
Oh
was
my
like
gosh.
watching a Madden game.
that was like watching. I think you might have seen my retweet about this. That was like basically that's what happened in every season of Friday Night Lights. It really was.
It's so
Every
true.
season finale, especially the last one. Oh my
That's
gosh,
so
Well, I mean-
it
true.
was amazing.
I mean, that's why people watch. People don't really watch games and just watch Red Zone.
yeah, they
and-
watch
and
Red
they-
Zone. That's another thing.
That they only watch that because they want
They
the
want
importantness.
everything. They just want action.
Yeah,
I think
they
that
just want the important clips that matter, not the commentary during standby. They just want they just
Yeah.
want to know who scored the points, how
Yeah.
many, when,
And with
how.
points, I think
the
that
plays.
plays into fantasy and the proliferation in general of all fantasy sports.
Yeah.
Just how like people just want to watch Red Zone and see how there are some people who just want to watch. They don't necessarily have a super team. They just like players from other teams now. That's all sports though. I think
And
I
that-
think in
that-
basketball especially you
that-
can like just players. You know what I
If
mean?
you want to get really philosophical with it, that just falls into, the instant gratification culture
Yeah.
that we're raising these days.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
For
know
sure.
that that's really deep for a talk about sports, but like it just
Baseball
goes to
in
show you,
August.
like nobody wants to watch every pitch of a baseball game. They only want to see the home runs, and it's
Mine-
just like
I really do think though that it's just that why football does well is because it's it's exciting. It's an exciting game. I don't think it's really the big hits. I think that's that once a week, and that's it. I
Yeah.
really think that's a big thing. I think it hurts baseball. There's like 160 games. Why do I care about the Yankees playing the Red Sox right now when I know they're going to play 5 more times or whatever it is for the rest of the year? Why should I care about that
just
when I
gotta
could
love it.
watch a movie? When I could go play a video game, when I can go outside, when I can talk to a girl, maybe message a girl or something like that from one of my classes.
God.
One of those things. I don't know what you're
Oh
saying,
my
oh
God.
God, for. And
He thinks it
just-
doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mentioned everything except for the video games and movies or something that does not happen in my life. So, and maybe some others' lives it does happen. I don't know. But, yeah, those are my thoughts, man.
Before we go any further, we're going to take a really quick break, play a little Showmo, and then we'll be back right into the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC.
Hey,
Back here on the Digital Dash. Javier is back here messing around by my computer. I don't know how I feel about
Your
that.
computer.
My computer is
Your
right here with
computer.
the
I
little
was messing with
mustache.
your computer.
It's the computer.
I couldn't see. It was just
It's-
my peripheral,
I'm a
so I thought
computer.
maybe you were like
Stop all the
True. 'Cause we came back
downloading.
sneaking
quick, yeah.
around.
What happened?
I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
Yeah.
Like the G.I. Joe PSAs.
Oh, yeah. The Trevor laugh is one of the common, like, the mainstays.
Before when he said I would have been like, and then he just laughed.
Yeah.
That was a classic. That was a Digital Dash. Put that in the Digital Dash time capsule.
Oh
For
my
sure.
gosh.
It's funny because there's actually 3 guests I have every week. You know what I mean? I have Jack, Trevor, and then Trevor's laugh. That's actually the 3 guests. It's great. And then this week, obviously, Alejandro. But, yeah, that's what's up,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
So how you doing, Jack? You
I-
enjoying being up there?
I'm
What
doing
about you,
good.
Trevor?
This is fun.
Have you ever seen those PSAs?
I think so. I think I saw
Like
one.
like the parody ones? Like I
Maybe.
can't say my favorite one. My favorite one is the kid on the ice.
Yeah. G.I. Joe, man. Did you guys ever watch G.I. Joe?
I did.
Not really.
I barely watched it.
Not really.
What did you guys think of the movie?
It's so bad.
The
Which
first
one?
one I kind of liked.
I only,
It's
not
not like
good.
your guilty
I
pleasure.
love Channing Tatum. I love Channing Tatum.
I think I only saw the second
You
one.
broke Trevor.
Wow, you broke Trevor.
Trevor's laugh. Like I said, he's another guest.
I think only I remember. I know I saw one. Which one was the one with like Cobra or Ghost or something?
It was the
like that?
first one.
Cobra.
They only made 2. They only made.
What was the name of the second one?
The second one was
Retaliation?
called G.I. Joe
Yeah,
Retaliation.
There's only
That
2,
one was
right?
bad. I didn't
Oh
like that
my
one.
god, that
You
one's
guys
so
know
bad.
Really?
dizzying him out about
Huh.
G.I. Joe movies.
Right.
I could not have told you a single thing.
Oh, it's
you
fine.
guys
Trust
said.
me.
What's your
Like I
favorite-
said.
What's your favorite rock movie?
Rock?
Dwayne Johnson.
Hold on one second.
Oh, I thought you meant like rock, like the music genre.
Fast and Furious. Fast 5.
Yeah, Fast 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
best
Fast
Fast
5
and Furious movie.
because of one
Oh, it was
thing.
great. Yeah.
Because he gets to say the F word.
Yeah, he drops
in-
a bomb.
Oh, it's good.
It's
Yeah.
so
It's a good one, though.
It's a good one. It's one of my favorites of all time
It's
because
good.
I don't
he's
think
just
I
like
don't think I remember it, but it'll
no
come to me.
no that movie is so good. You have to rewatch
Well,
it.
no,
I love that
the
I'm gonna
movie.
watch it when I get home.
the reason why I like it so much is just
pull it up.
because
The
the heist when they're doing the
Yeah.
switcheroo with the dumpster.
Oh
that was smart, man.
It's just
I
because
just-
one of my favorite movies is Ocean's 11.
I still haven't seen it.
So
How are
I
those?
like heist movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know heading into the movie. I don't think I knew. I wasn't really sent to it
I
back in middle
didn't
school.
I didn't get
And I just love that it was basically a heist movie. It was just fun. Like I
I-
just think that's
I-
just, I wasn't expecting because not G.I. Joe. Wow. Fast Furious the franchise was kind of like guilty pleasure good.
Nah.
But then I think
it,
5.
good?
Yeah,
But
I
it
think
had
it was
good
good.
character
If five-
development and good
five-
and good
It was
no,
fine.
and good
fine.
yeah.
But I
Five-
think 5, 6, and 7 were just straight up good movies and great
Five-
action movies.
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7 I consider. I don't have 8 because I think 8 is just not good.
Really?
I think
It
for
was,
me
it was just taking
for-
it in a new direction.
I don't like it.
Really? The Fate of the
I
Furious.
I
There's
love
two more.
I love for me I
Coming up.
love Fast and Furious 5, Fast and Furious 6, Fast and Furious 7 because Fast and Furious 7 is the most emotionally
Oh yeah, of course. We all
it's the
cried
most
like
emotionally
babies.
awesome movie because
See you again.
it's like James Wan actually directed that
Oh yeah,
and he directed it so well that I'm just
he
like
did.
I'm like even though I'm not excited for Aquaman
What? What's
the
wrong
way
with you?
the way you directed that movie
He's
was just
directing
so
Aquaman.
good. I'm like you gave such a good tribute to Paul Walker.
Yeah, of course.
The reason why I'm not excited for Aquaman is not because of James Wan, it's because of DC. DC, in my opinion, has not been handling its stuff properly.
I'm a DC person, so I
See,
I don't.
I love DC. I love DC. I really want the best for DC. I love Marvel and I love DC for different reasons.
Hey, look, I mean, yes, the majority of the DCEU movies weren't good, but I mean, I just think that if they could do such a good job in Wonder Woman, then they have potential. It's just that Zack Snyder is not a good director for this franchise. I'm sorry, but I do not like Zack Snyder.
He was not a good director from the start.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was a good choice for Batman v Superman.
And then Justice League.
And I thought that he wasn't a good choice for Justice League. I thought they should have had Joss Whedon to start with. And I didn't like the two tones of the directors in Justice League. I just didn't like the pacing of it, and everything about it was just not right.
Yeah.
Then you got to Suicide Squad, which was like...
The title says it all.
Which was just like... which for
the
me,
title really says it all.
For me, it had a paper cutout villain.
Yeah.
Its story was just full of plot holes, like plot holes more holy than a Swiss cheese. Basically, and then you. I love Javier's reaction.
Wow.
He's just like, why are you doing this, Trevor?
And no, we're gonna end this. No,
We're winding down soon. We are winding down soon.
So,
It's been a good show. Like I beat Jack in my NFL picks.
A word?
In quotations. In quotations.
now I'm the one giving you the hobby.
I know, right? Yeah, you gotta give the.
It's the chair, is what it is.
It's the chair, the ever rotating and turning around chair. But yeah, you guys are some nerds talking about this stuff, man.
I just think for me,
Please.
like,
I'm a man.
for me, Aquaman, the only reason I'm excited for it, I'm gonna say this, Alejandro.
Yeah.
Is Black Manta.
Oh well.
That
Cause
suit.
here's the thing. I
That
don't know
suit.
pretty much
I saw it.
anything
I saw
about
it.
Black
I saw it in New York Comic
Y'all see
Con.
Flashpoint Paradox?
I saw it in New York Comic Con. It was beautiful. It
What?
was
The animated
so
movie.
beautiful.
I know. Wait, was Black Manta in
Yeah.
Flashpoint?
He did my guy Deathstroke dirty. He would have dogged him if it was a regular timeline, but whatever.
Now, are they gonna?
Deathstroke can mess up anybody. I
I know.
love Deathstroke so much.
I know.
I-
Now,
I
are
love-
they gonna move forward with Flashpoint
Who knows?
I don't know
What do you
because
think, Jack? You think they can move
for,
forward
for the
with Flashpoint?
DCEU?
I think
Jack has
I think they
no idea what we're
I
talking
think they
about.
officially
I
are
couldn't
going to
tell
change the
you
name of it.
better.
It's
than,
called World of DC
Bring the mic
now.
up a little bit.
I couldn't tell
and
you better
they're-
than like this
The next
mouse.
movie is going to be
Mhm.
the next movie is going to be Shazam.
Oh, I can't wait for Shazam.
Shazam actually looks really
Shazam with
good.
Shaquille
I'm
O'Neal?
excited for that. Shazam is about a kid named Billy Batson who can
Shaquille
transform.
O'Neal, starring Shaquille O'Neal.
No,
It'd be great.
I'm gonna go.
I think Trevor
I'm gonna
likes
go.
these
I'm
movies.
gonna go
He's
find
interested.
like.
Trevor loves movies. With
Zachary
Shaquille
Levi
O'Neal.
plays Shazam, and when I was in
Blue
line,
chips, let's go, let's go.
I
man.
actually can't wait for this movie because David F. Stoneberg said, I really love the fact that Shazam is just the trailer looks so much
Yeah.
fun, and
Yeah,
it
it
looks
does.
and it's just like for me that looks way more fun than Aquaman. Aquaman looks like trying to be like Black Panther.
no, it's just that you have to remember that for some reason DC is always has like a dark background because
Yeah.
they try to be a little bit more realistic.
I
and all these characters in the DCEU, they have pretty sad backstories, and that's just that's what makes them good heroes.
for me my favorite moment is gonna be the moment where he jumps into the water and it's from the terror, from the deep,
Oh yeah.
like the shot of like
Yeah.
him going into the ocean.
Well,
at
it's James
night.
Wan. It's gonna have
It's
some good
good-
shots.
It's gonna be beautiful. The shots are gonna be so beautiful in
Yeah.
this movie. It's gonna be like
It's gonna have good.
it's gonna
camera
be
work.
like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see this in the morning in IMAX probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go see it in the IMAX in the morning.
Yeah.
Like-
Now here's the thing. So now that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are gone, what's happening to Justice League? Like that's
I just think Justice League is.
I'm
is-
really into the
Justice League,
the
the-
love story stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Trevor, by the love stories.
of course you.
I'm really into just like the Batman and Wonder Woman chemistry that was going on there. I think that's
Where?
definitely the best part in Justice
That's not
League.
that's not a.
I don't
that-
think.
that's a-
I don't
not really.
think.
It's a
I-
small chemistry.
Who does Aquaman? Who's his
Mara.
person?
Mara.
Oh yeah, another
The-
person
the-
who gets
she-
done
she's
dirty
redhead.
in Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
by Wonder
that ain't
Woman.
cool.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is high key the evilest person in that movie.
Yeah, she really was.
she
She's
actually
evil.
she actually got
Even
she-
in Injustice 2, she was really. Even in
she
Injustice
got
2,
rid of Shazam.
Yeah,
She did get rid of Shazam.
She
Man,
did get
got
rid of
everybody.
Shazam.
Deathstroke got
In the-
done dirty though. I'm still upset about
I-
that.
I
I'm
just-
like,
I
it was
just-
clearly an alternate reality where it doesn't have his healing and he's not quite as awesome.
you
He
know-
would destroy Black Manta. I know nothing about Black Manta.
Black
Deathstroke
Black
could dog
Manta
everybody.
Black Manta would they would both be equal.
Nah, bro. Deathstroke. If he could fight all of Justice League by himself, he good, bro. That's
Yeah,
true.
he's
He
good.
did.
I
He,
did.
he thinks like he thinks like super fast, this character.
Yeah.
So he can like plan out things that he almost 1v5s like including like Arrow and
You know
Green
who's
Lantern and the Flash. I'm like, what is it's so cool?
I just
awesome.
really
You've
want
watched
to
Teen
see.
Titans? You heard of
I've
it?
seen Teen Titans.
You know that guy Slade? Do you remember the villain? The
Okay.
villain of that show is
Yeah.
basically Deathstroke. Yeah.
It is. It was just for some reason they didn't call him Deathstroke. They called him
Yeah.
Slade.
I don't know why they. Didn't
I don't know
call
Why
him
did
why?
they make such
Whatever.
an OP villain?
But it's just like
Because,
he's
man,
a
you need
Batman
some-
villain.
you
Why
need
would
some
they
good
give him
villains.
to the Teen
When you have
Titans?
Superman, you gotta fight.
Do
You
they
gotta make
beat?
some OP
Do they
people.
beat him though?
Yeah, they can beat Deathstroke. It's just very
The Teen
hard.
Titans.
Yeah, they do
Both of
eventually,
them.
right?
Either.
But
of
it took them
anybody.
a long time
Yeah.
to beat him.
Well,
Shaquille
Deathstroke's
O'Neal.
smart. He's
Yeah.
not. He doesn't have like Wolverine level healing, but he can heal himself. He's like a battery.
Yeah.
He can't use it like all the time. Where it's like if he heals from like a shot, like that blew him apart, then he can't heal for a while. Then he's got to like rest. It's like that.
Yeah.
type
People
of
always
thing.
Oh,
comparing
like,
him.
like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, almost
for-
think of it like as you're playing like a game like that where you have to wait a little bit. It's still healing, but it's not Wolverine where it's like,
Yeah.
like I'm good, bro. Let's go.
People
For-
always
for me-
comparing
for
him
me,
for
like-
Deadpool.
Yeah. Deathstroke is, in my opinion, cooler.
Yeah.
I think he's cool. I still love Deadpool, but he's
You
cooler.
know, I got to say, I really like the not Deadpool, the Deathstroke that they portrayed in Arrow. You know, the
Yeah.
TV
Oh,
show?
I actually got to meet him.
Really?
Really?
I actually got
He's
Manu
Australian,
Bennett.
right? That
Manu
guy.
Bennett. He's
Yeah.
massive. He's built.
He's huge.
He's built. Yeah, he's huge.
You know who he also kind of looks like? He also looks like
He
looks like Frank Grillo a bit. He looks like
I actually,
Frank Grillo.
I
He
actually
was,
met him. I actually met him, and I got his autograph.
That's awesome.
And he said to me, I asked him about this was during the period of time like around Arrow season 4 or
Yeah.
Arrow season. Arrow season 4, and I think he was talking about his appearance, and he didn't like it.
Wow. Oh, you know who I back during this New York Comic Con that just
Yeah.
passed in October.
Yeah.
I was waiting in line to meet Jason David Frank, you know, Tommy from the
Yeah,
Power Rangers,
yeah.
and it was really cool because literally in the next booth, I wanted to meet Zachary Levi.
He was
you
too
know,
expensive.
Yeah, he was like $80 or whatever. He's playing Shazam, but it's like he was so
O'Neal.
close, and I heard him speak to people, so I was like, eh.
I
right
I
there.
got to meet
But
Josh Grill, the voice of Tokiyami in My Hero Academia.
I'm really just getting an education today because
Oh,
I'm
what you did,
being
you learn on
dead
here.
serious. I did
Yeah,
not
he
know
had a
that
booth,
there
right?
was
Yeah.
another Shazam movie
yeah, I saw him as a
without
He was
without
really nice.
Shaquille O'Neal. in it. I thought that was the only one.
Shazam is like Shazam from Shaquille O'Neal is just bad, just bad.
You
so
know how to
bad.
do that? You know how to do that?
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Whoa.
Oh wow, that was aggressive.
These are your ADJs or something? What's going on here?
I don't know.
What's up? I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know you aren't. I know he is, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? I know she isn't.
Shazam, Shaquille O'Neal.
But, huh.
Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal.
So, yeah. On
Shaq
that
Fu
note,
baby.
Jack, what do you think? You think it's about time to wrap up? You
I
want me
think
to
it's
wrap
about
things up?
time to wrap up.
All right. So
I just don't want to get in the rain. It's gonna
you
be
don't want to get into the
unfortunate.
what?
Is
You
it
want me to come up
raining?
and use that mic over there? Yeah, let me come up over there.
My pants are gonna get all wet. I'm all dressed up. This is gonna be unfortunate. Javier's jumping back here. You want the mic?
Yeah, let me just do my conclusion. You know how I do. You know how I do.
Bye, people.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for today's edition of the Digital Dash. Remember that you can always tune in to the show every Monday from 4 to 7 p.m. here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair or the iHeartRadio app. And it's falling. And always, to close things out, it's Journey with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Remember, everyone, never accept the world for what it appears to be. Dare to see it for what it could be. I'm Javier Reyes, and I hope you all have a terrific night. See you next time.